course, Alpha Live Productions. Today you are joining myself, Kyo Lynch, and what will be this morning, Stuart Rice in the commentary box, one of our producers. Today we are at the iconic PFI, Paul Fletcher International, for what is going to be the Challenge Cup. The forecast for today is looking cold but dry out there for the drivers, and we have 22 races ahead of us today. Qualifying was complete yesterday by the drivers, so they know where they will be starting for their first 2 heats today. Each drivers will compete in 2 heats ahead of the main event, the finals this afternoon, which, if you are a member of the SlipStream Live, you can watch later on with us this evening. Well, my co-commentator Henry Baudet isn't quite here yet, but he looks like he will be joining us this afternoon. First out, we will have our junior Rotax grid, which is looking like we've got lots of junior Rotaxes out today, so we will have 3 heats for them, each driver's competing in 2, which we will be getting underway with soon. But let's speak to who is going to be joining me this morning in the commentary box, Stuart Rice. Obviously, it's been a bit of a hectic morning for us, so apologies, we might not be reading the live chat just yet. Stuart, this was quite unexpected, wasn't it?
Just a little bit, yes. It's one of those things where sometimes things just happen overall, and it becomes just a little bit hectic in the morning. But Henry will be with us hopefully shortly within the next few races, and that should hopefully allow us to start off the day and hopefully just in a little bit, just while we're here, just waiting for the brakes currently. Don't believe we've got them just now, but we are. There is a thumbs up from the match marshal, so that's the case. I will let you run through the grids, and I will be back in just a moment.
Thank you very much. As Stuart said, it's been quite the hectic morning here at PFI, but we are looking forward to getting underway with all 22 races that we have today. Starting, of course, with a bang with our Rotax Junior Max, who I've just seen the green flag is out, who will be joining us on the grid soon. Here we go, here they come. So your pole sitter for the first heat of the day will be Zach Turner. Joining him on the front row will be Luca Holmes. Row 2 will be Jacob Underhill and Ryan Rapini. Row 3, Aidan Hammond and Harvey Sargson. Rounding out your top 8 will be Braith Murdoch and Teddy Cooper, sorry. Your top 10, Ryan White and Tom Reed. Stanley Stafford and Reyes Cosmin Pascu are next, followed by George Fountain and Harry Holland. Kevin Ivanok and Kartik Kumeta are next. Cash Harris and Ali Myers are next, followed by the Craft Motorsport car Ollie Thompson and Thomas Welsford. Alexander Lewuski and Jack Beasley are next. Samir Paul and Ethan Guest round out your top 24. Ian Campbell, Bailey Collins and Joshua Robinson round out your top 27 for this heat. Now, I believe Zach Turner in that Coles kart, your pole sitter is just lining up at the last sector. It looks like we lost one kart. Who is that? That is possibly a DHR kart off the start, but he is going to be joining us hopefully at the back of the grid by the end of this lap.
Yes, absolutely. Coming round into the final complex now to hopefully get the race underway this time round. Lights are on the gantry as coming just through the final corner now. Blake Southern in pole position, as we see there, I don't believe.
I don't think it is Blake Southern. I think it is Zach Turner.
So the grids we have basically don't have the first person show up. So whatever we have here is going to be the correct grids. So here we go, round the final corner to start the race. Will we get underway? Yes, we will. That is a race start. Carts across the line and into the first corner. Hopefully everyone gets through in a good and safe manner. A little bit of a cut on the corner there, but coming up the banking now. And everyone does seem to have made it through relatively unscathed, I think.
Absolutely. And apologies for that actual incorrect thing at the beginning. It is Blake Southern that is your pole sitter, who did, I believe, win. He is coming off the back of a win at Wilton Mill Kart Club round 1 last weekend. So he is coming into this with full confidence. He's got a good start. You can see him still in the lead, and that we do have someone up into second.
2:14, I think that was round down into the... Oh, no, that's a little bit worse. That's the 187 into the barriers. Thankfully, they're okay, lifting the barrier up and off the cart.
That will be the 187 of Cash Harris. That is unfortunate for him.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those corners that does that. But round towards the final set of corners, we're just waiting to see where the leaders are. Currently still fairly close, actually. But off in the lead currently is, sorry, this is my bad, is currently still Blake Southern. He has kept it in there. It's about half a second lead, 4/10 of a second.
You are right, Blake Southern leads. However, Jack Turner, your man who joined him on the front row of the grid, is now down to third. You have Luca Holmes back up into second position.
Absolutely, Zach Turner making a good push to try and keep with second place. He's currently doing it, and now the lead are right back on each other. Got the 100 of Blake Southern right on there. There's a dive down the inside. What a move. Cut back. Here it comes. Down the back straight. Are they going to stay good into the next corner?
Oh, Luke Holmes wasting no time trying. Is he going to get the move done? And yeah, it looks like he is, as they are side by side through the last sector of this race. That car number 228 is wasting no time. Blake Southern down now into second, I believe. Oh no, that is now Zach Turner up in second as they come along the main straight for the second time, and it looks like, there you go, that is Zach Turner, car number 99, now in first position as they head up towards
the banking. Yeah, we're fine. It's the banking, don't worry. Yeah, it's the corner names here can be a bit all over the place. But there's a dive down the inside off the... Whoa! That was called taking a lot of curb and potentially getting a little bit airborne. But, I mean, it's currently fourth place, though, with all this battling has brought them right into the pack, which is fantastic.
That has given your race leader so far, Zach Turner, some time to make up. There you go. He leads towards the S section. That is that now in second?
We're just going to wait and see when they come through into the final complex of corners. Second place is currently, and we'll let you know once we get a shot of that. So currently in lead is still Zach Turner. And in second place, here we go, onto the start line. We are going to see in just a moment, that is when the sun wants to not exist on the front of a kart. That is the 228, so that is Luca Holmes-Ballack still there, and in third is still Blake Southern. So the lead has switched around, but there's a dive, potentially up the inside. Have they made that work? Yes, they have. Oh, no, he's wide and potentially... Oh, good, well saved, sir. That was an exceptionally good save by Blake Southern. The problem is, the more they do this, and the more they battle at the back, the harder this is going to be for everyone to keep up.
Yes, it is. Well, your leader now has pulled quite a good gap for himself. He is only, well, 2/10 ahead, but it looks like he's pulling a gap now as he goes through the S's. Second and third now also pulling a gap for themselves as they will be battling. Now at this stage in the race, they will be considering working together to not let that leader, Zach Turner, get away. But that is a car on the grass that we are seeing, car number 34. Who is that? That is Jacob Underhill, who does some grass tracks, but he is back onto the tarmac. Fastest lap is set by car number 131, Ollie Thompson, who is down in 21st, but your leader up through the banking again and gaining that time. He is pulling even more of a gap. Cots number 140 still not battling anymore just yet. They have realised how important it is to not let your leader pull a gap. Around hairpin 1, they go then, and towards hairpin 2. Your top 5, Zach Turner, Braith Murdoch, Luca Holmes, Ryan White and Blake Southern. Off they will go through the S's now. Some drivers further down the grid, we have Lily Shaw running in 19th position.
So currently I am now back. Sorry about that. Just had to just have a chat with Mr. Burdett just to make sure he's still good and on his way, and he is. So we will have him fairly shortly. With 3 minutes of the race to go, currently leading still, I don't believe has changed. But you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I have just been out of the room for a few minutes. So
no, it hasn't.
Under the proverbial rock.
Still leads, but Teddy Cooper in 6th place. Currently set to be fast lap. That is car number 79. but it looks like the gap to the leader is getting far. We've got 2.5 minutes left of this race, but Zach Turner is extending his gap, but that is caught. Number 124, Brave Murdoch, who was in second, drops drastically down that pack. This is giving car number 228, Luca Holmes Ballack, a bit of a gap now to who will be in third.
Absolutely. Currently the lead not really closing. Fastest lap still by Teddy Cooper. Got the battle for, well, most of the karts coming up behind at the moment, but as it stands, Zach Turner has quite a healthy lead at the front, and I'm touching table-based wood as much as I can there because I don't want to commentate his cursing, but he is doing an exceptional job.
Yes, he does. And your second place driver drastically drops down the pack, but your fast lap now being set by Blake Southern, who was on pole, dropped down a bit, but he's got 2 minutes left of this race to make some ground back up for himself. There is your leader heading towards the hairpin one, and he has got a good gap for himself. Now he is leading Luca Holmes and now Ryan White, who will be in third position as Luca Holmes breaks late onto that rumble strip, exiting hairpin one, and he is trying to catch up to that kart of Luca Holmes Ballack.
Absolutely, it will be a tough job to actually make that work, because at the end of the day, as much as half a second may seem like not a huge amount of time, when it comes to karts, there's a kart off down the back straight. I'm not quite sure who that is. I can't quite see the number. It looks like a 3 on the back of it. It's just in the middle, but we'll find out, I'm sure, at some point. Coming round into the final corners now, and the leader is considerably up the road. 2.72 there, 2.93 as the rest of them cross the line. But the battle for third is actually on now, quite considerably.
Exactly. Blake Southern setting another fastest lap for himself, is going to contend for that third place position. This is giving Luca Holmes Ballack a bit of a breather, that man in second position. There you go, your leader through hairpin one, who has extended his gap every lap so far this race, but now it looks like it is going to be a 5-car lead for those positions on the podium through hairpin two. There you go.
Absolutely, second place all to play for. First place already played for, I think. He's currently going into the final sector now with about 20 seconds on the clock. It'd be interesting to see if we go for one more lap after this. And currently, we're just waiting to see if that is the case. 10 seconds on the clock, coming round towards the final corner, and it remains to be seen. I don't think we're going to see the final lap this time round. We are not. 2 seconds left on the board, so we're going to have this lap plus one more, and here comes the battle for second.
There we go, we have Blake Southern up into third. Fastest lap still set by him. Is he going to contend for second now as those karts head round the banking, right bumper on bumper? This is giving your leader even more of a gap. Now, through the last couple laps of this race, he'll be looking behind him, having no stress just yet. But it is now, and again, a 6-car contention for those podium positions. And that is car number 228, Luca Holmes, who leads that. But it might not be for long, as it is, some defensive lines back there. And Luca Holmes will still lead in that second position, now pulling a bit of the gap as they head into Sector 3.
Absolutely, all of this battling is not helping with trying to keep these battles up, but at this point, it's coming round to the last lap of the race. As the leader comes through the final corner to start that final lap, it's going to be all to play for. Probably from about fourth back, but second and third, there's still a chance. They're only, under half a second from each other. So it's all to play for second place still, I would say, at the very least.
Absolutely, but right now it is Zach Turner, Luca Holmes, Ryan White, Todd Reed, and Teddy Cooper now running in the top 5. I believe Teddy Cooper did win here in the Winter Warmer last month, so he will be coming into this with confidence, knowing that he is fast at PFI. Everyone knowing that he is coming off the back of a win the last time he was out at this track. There is your leader heading into the S's, who has had a pretty strong race. 4.1 seconds ahead, no stress as he heads into the final sector, but there is your karts in second and third. Is there going to be a change for second and third as we head through the final few corners? I am not sure. That is Luca Holmes and Ryan White right now. There is checker flag out, and that is Zach Turner. That it looks like he's going to take the lead, and there he is. That is your first heat winner of today, Junior Rotax, Zach Turner. Followed by, that will be Luca Holmes, Ballack, and Ryan White. Tom Reed and Teddy Cooper rounding out your... Oh no, it was actually Blake Southern in the end, rounding out your top 5. Blake Southern had a bit of a difficult race there, as he did come off of pole, dropped back, but did manage to set the fastest laps, showing his pace and coming back through that grid. but it's early stages of the day. There is still another heat to go before the final for these junior Rotax drivers. Inside the top 10, you then have Teddy Cooper, Braith Murdoch, Harry Holland, Ryan Rapini, and George Fountain. There you see your leader heading into the pit. He will be happy with that. Zach Turner, your first heat winner of the day for Coles Racing. Like I said, Blake Sutherland is coming off the back of a win from Wilton Mill round 1. So he was going into this with confidence too, finishing in 5th. He's not putting himself in a bad position so far, but he will be hoping to obviously get a better start off pole for his next heat. Okay, next up we have the senior Rotax Heat 1 of the day. Let's have a look. Senior Rotax Heat 1. We also have a lot of Senior Rotax today, so there will be 3 heats for them, each driver competing in 2. We can just see a driver leaving the track. That is car number 243. After an unfortunate start for them. But your pole sitter is Albie Lapper, followed by Victor Hansen joining him on that front row of the grid. Joshua Graham and Leon Hasty on row 2, Harry King and Jack Lilly on row 3, Liam Hartley and George Holbrook on row 4, followed by Harry Freeman and Lewis Mierka. Rounding out your top 12 is Brandon Truman and Armin Sabine. Top 14 are Oliver Walker and Jacob Grun. Connor Tubby and Dylan Luff are next. Adam Wooden and Ruben Kilnan are next. Bailey Heath and Drew Priesner are your top 20. Priam Leland and David Mitchell, Joe Pethin and Leo Steed are the top 24. At the back of the grid will be Charlie Domikos, Matthew So, Dan Renton, Molly Griffiths, Sawn Cheng and Harrison Crowther. Harrison Crowther, not a driver that we usually see at the back of the pack. I'm going to guess that he either didn't compete in qualifying or had a bit of an issue. Molly Griffiths, another driver who we did see out at Wilton Mill. She didn't have the best weekend. She just missed out on making that final, so she will be going into this hoping for a more successful weekend for herself. But Harrison Crowther, a Dice Year 1 driver who is Freem sponsored, he came second here at the Winter Warmer, followed by Liam Hartley, who came third. Those will be 2 to watch out for in this race. Oliver Walker is another who was kind of top 10 in the heats, but did drop down, so he's another one to watch out for today. Here they are, you can see them warming their tyres on their formation lap as they come through the last sector, ready to go. And joining us again will be Stuart.
Hello there. Yes, sorry, I am returned just from making sure that everyone got their grids nice, and simply just for a bit of context, I am normally the producer on this one, but just filling in whilst Henry is not here because I have some prior experience of commentary, but not much. I'll let you take the race
start. As we said, we are having quite the hectic morning, but Henry Burdett will be joining us eventually, we believe.
Yes. Okay,
and here we go, underway with our second heat of the day. That is Albie Lapper. That leads your strawberry cart. Up the back they go.
Under the bridge. We got the cart backwards. I don't know who that was. Unfortunately, he's got moving.
He's on the grass, but he has got moving again. There you go, your leader towards turn 1.
Absolutely, down the hill currently towards the hairpin. Potential move round. That's a big look up. If he can make that work, that will be possibly one of the most impressive moves. How on earth has he done that? The 174 of Charlie King, take a bow. That is possibly one of the best saves of a rear lockup I've ever seen from anyone in any motorsport.
I mean, Charlie King, he was not wasting any time for the start of his race. He is saying, no, I am here and I want to win.
Absolutely. Coming round towards the final complex at corners now. Just the leader starting to put a tiny bit of a gap currently It's not much, but if he keeps at that and second and third don't start battling, then it might drop a little bit. But currently in the lead is Joshua Graham, followed by Albie Lapper in second, Charlie King in third, Leon Hasty in fourth, and Harry Freeman rounding out your top 5 as it stands with 6 minutes 46 remaining on the clock.
Your pole sitter, Albie Lapper, did drop down a place in that initial lap, but Charlie King and Leon Hasty and Harry Freeman all up those positions ready to race. But there you go, your leader round turn 1 now getting pretty close was your pole sitter Albie Lapper back for vengeance. Round hairpin 2 they go, and Albie Lapper is going to be on the back of that car number 8.
Absolutely hot on his heels currently, just trying to make up the gap, which currently has happened. 4th place and 3rd place haven't really caught up, which right now they're currently in this huge unit of karts that's coming up behind them, and that has given 2nd place the opportunity to stick with the lead. So we got 1st and 2nd, followed by 3rd and 4th with a small gap between the 2 of them.
Absolutely. Through turn 1 they go. Albie Lapper did just set the fastest lap, closing that gap now to 1:10. Are we going to see a move up the bank? Not just yet. He's going to be patient. Leon Hasty they do not want to let that car number 83, Leon Hasty, into contention just yet.
Absolutely, and right now it would be smart.
Lay on the brakes. Oh, not just yet.
No.
Through hairpin 1 they go, towards hairpin 2, but this is already bringing karts number 83, Leon Hasty and Harry Freeman into contention. Drivers who we have all seen frequently here at the front of the pack. It looks like it's going to get the gap squeezed now between 2nd and 3rd. We will have a look as they enter sector 3. Driver who has also come back up through that pack, the driver that we were talking about on the outlap, is Harrison Crowther, up 15 positions, starting at the back of the grid in 16th. He is one to watch out for as we head through the latter part of this race. We will see how many positions Harrison Crowther is able to make up. Joshua Graham still leaves Albie Lapper, Leon Hasty and Harry Freeman. Jack Lilly round out your top 10. Round the bank they go. Ooh, and is there going to be a change for the race lead? No, there tries to be, but no. Joshua Graham says nope, not just yet, and now it looks like it's going to be a 4-car battle for the lead as they head into hairpin 1.
Ooh, it's getting exceptionally close.
Bumper by bumper, we have car number 8, who was your race leader, Joshua Graham, on the grass. Not your race leader anymore, because now it is Albie Lapper, your pole sitter, back into the lead through the S's and pulled himself already a slight gap.
And this is the thing that 2nd place really would not have wanted. Down the inside again goes the 63, I believe that is, or the 83, sorry, of Leon Hasty. And at the end of the day, the more they battle, the less likely it is they can catch the leader. But right now, I'm not even sure they care too much about that. They've just gone, it's the heat, let's have fun, let's battle. And as he looks over his shoulder currently, just to see where everyone is, there's a move down the inside with a 399. That is an exceptional move. That is currently, that's Jack Lilly making a move at the moment. 5-second penalty, unfortunately, for the 420 of... just lost the name. That's my bad. Just looking for the name. Ruben was his first name. That's all I know. Ruben Kernahan. That's the one.
Well, there is your leader heading towards hairpin 1. But let's talk about that car number 12, Harrison Crowther. Now up 19th positions and in that 12th place, just behind Ruben Kiernan. Through hairpin 2 they go, and there is your leader, Albie Lapper, Leon Hasty, and Harry Freeman. Through the S's they go. Driver who has dropped back slightly will be Victor Hansen, who is now down in 6th. Dropped back ever so slightly on that first, but we have 3 minutes to go. We will see if he is able to make his way back up.
Absolutely. And incidentally, 2nd and 3rd have now broken free of the group behind, and that is going to give currently P2. We're just going to wait for them to come across the line. Leon Hasty still in P2. Jack Lilly currently in 3rd. That is going to give them a chance, hopefully, to catch up with the leader for them, but everyone else, the leader, certainly will be hoping that is not the case.
And we do have a fast lap set by car number 174. That is Charlie King down in 6th, which there is nearly 3 minutes of this race left to go. The leaders aren't that far ahead. Round hairpin 1 they go. Are we going to see a multiple car lead battle for this race lead if these karts start battling already? They have wasted no time just yet. They have not worried about pulling too much of a gap so far. So we will see what these front karts do. That is Lapper, Hasty, Lilly, Brandon Truman and Joshua Graham are in your top 5.
Absolutely. I think 2nd place absolutely will be trying to push forward. Leon Hasty absolutely has Albie Lapper in his sights. trying to catch up. They have absolutely closed the gap coming down towards the start line now. They're basically bumper to bumper in a few minutes, I'd say. Probably within the next lap, we'll start seeing them potentially try and make a move for the lead. And it's whether they will start immediately or whether they will wait and try and hold for the last lap so that that battling group behind them doesn't catch up.
Exactly that, and it looks like they're going to be clever for now, but...
Yep, I think you are... Oh, there is some slight rear to... front to rear contact there, but there's nothing particularly going on. Down the inside goes the 399 of Jack Lilly to potentially take the lead. He's taken the lead. How on earth has he done that? That's
there
impressive.
You go. Jack Lilly takes the race lead down the inside of both those karts right at the last second. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. Jack Lilly says, no, I'm taking the lead now. Is he going to lead the rest of this race? We will see as they go through the last sector. Let's take a quick look down further down that grid. There is one kart, Liam Hartley, who did finish third here over at the winter warmer, but hasn't quite had the start to his race. He is now down 6 positions, down in 13th. That is not an ideal start for the heat for him, but Jack Lilly, Hasty and Lapper, are we going to see a change in these three on the last few minutes, on the last few laps of this race? This is bringing those two karts, 155 and number 8 of Brandon Truman and Joshua Granham, into contention through hairpin 1. There you go. 3 karts, bumper to bumper, but no, it's going to be single file down towards hairpin 2. All drivers looking behind them, seeing if they need to take a defensive line.
This is the whole grid has basically turned up behind now. Now the question is whether they start fighting. I'd be impressed if they didn't. Oh no, that's a big off for 2 drivers there. That's the number 21 of Victor Hansen off the circuit, and we're just waiting to see who the one there is. That is the 174 of Charlie King. Oh no, that's a shame for Charlie King. He'd only dropped a couple of positions off the start, I believe, and unfortunately that will be pretty much his race done. But as we come round, we've still got 2 more laps to go, I believe.
That is a shame for Charlie King. Charlie King was setting fastest laps and making his way back up after dropping on those initial few laps. But it looks like it is going to be an unlucky first start to the day for him.
Absolutely. Coming down off the hill, is getting very close between a few set of drivers. That's a move down the inside. Well taken there from the kart of, I believe that is the 164, the 364.
That's the 155, Brandon Truman.
Apologies. Karts moving at speed, numbers, everything is sometimes a blur. But that's the thing. Currently, actually, I believe that's the lead that's been caught up again. That is the 399, followed very, very closely by the 83.
Ooh, could we possibly have had a mistake there from Jack Lilly, your leader, who has now been caught very quickly by now these 2 karts, Leon Hasty and Albie Lapper?
I think that may have actually been a mistake. I'm just taking a look at the last laps. No, they were just quicker by 3/10. 3/10 makes a big difference as we go on to the last lap. The number 336, unfortunately, getting a 5-second penalty there as we come round towards the top of the hill. This is where they're either going to start battling like crazy or whether they're going to go, yeah, you know what, we're happy. But if I've seen anything to do with karting, they're not going to do that, I think.
Here we go into hairpin 1. Is there going to be a change? Ooh, someone tries to go around the outside, but no, they slot back into 3rd place. There you go, your leader Jack Lilly being the first one to enter hairpin 2, and they come out of that single file 2. But now that car number 155, Brandon Truman, is into contention. Heading through to sector 3, is there going to be a change? Has Brandon Truman entered that pack just a little bit too late? We will see.
Absolutely, coming round into the final complex now. The number 399 of Jack Lilly, by the current state of play, should look to take the win on this one as they come round the final corner. He sees a checkered flag and across the line to take the win. Fist pump from him there. He's happy with that result, as he should be, because that was a pretty good race from him, up 5 positions. He's followed by Leon Hasty, Joshua Graham, Brandon Truman, and Albie Lapper rounding out the top 5. And as I say that, I will leave Gear to carry on the rest of the grid.
Thank you very much, Stuart. Like you said, Jack Lilly in that strawberry car up 5 positions. That race started in 6th. Had a bit of a hectic start to that race. None of these senior Rotax left any time unturned. But there is your winner and your top 5. If we have a look at the top 10, that was Ruben Kiernahan, Liam Hartley, Adam Wooden, and Arnold Subin in your top 13. Connor Tubby, Lewis Merker, and Drew Preisner, Declan Clough. There you go, that is your first senior Rotax heat of the day finished. It was an unlucky race for that car of Liam Hartley, kart number 19, who did have a better run here last. All right, next up is Micromax Heat 1. We have got 12 drivers on this grid today, obviously our youngest drivers on the grid. But do not underestimate these youngsters, as the 12 of them are out for their outlap. Some of them are only 8 years old. Harry Riley, someone who was here at the Winter Warmer last month, finished P5 and also joined us in Wilton-Mill, sorry, can't get my words out, coming P4. But let's have a quick look at the grid. Ronnie Allen is on pole, joined by Felix Tandy, Harry Riley and Caden Hanley, Arlo Gamble, Elia Hitch, Rio Peacock and Bobby Slater round out the top 8. Kai Suri, Kaio Vieira and Caden Hercora will line up at the back of this grid. There you see your leader heading down into hairpin 2 just before we get underway with this race. Your pole sitter, Ronnie Allen, will be in that DHR kart, will be anticipating this race. Nervous driver or not for these youngsters, this is definitely where the adrenaline is going to build for them. Caden Hanley, who is starting, I'm not too sure where he's starting. Oh, 5th place. Did have a P3 finish here, or last weekend with us, joining us on another Slipstream event at Wilton-Mill. So he did well, he's coming into it with confidence. But here we go, and we are almost underway as your grid leaves, heading through nearly to the final corner as we are nearly underway with the race. And back with us again, Stuart Rice running back into the commentary box quickly.
Absolutely, and here we go. Race start, hopefully. Watching those lights. Lights are out. We are underway and already just making a slight poke down the inside. They're 3 wide into the first corner, which for these is not so much of a choice. These can quite comfortably do it, as there's potential moves up at the front. We're going to wait and see where they all end up, because currently it's a bit of a maelstrom.
They are 3 wide around that bank so far, the youngsters. But note that car number 57 will come out on top. That is Ronnie Allen, who leads into hairpin 1. But all Micromaxes are bunched up, heading out of the hairpin 1 and towards hairpin 2. That is car number 72, Arlo Gamble, who will be in second. Oh, but maybe not for long.
Absolutely. Coming down into the hairpin, into the chicane now, down towards Bobby Game Corner. There's not too much going on up at the front, but currently for 4th, there is an almighty battle starting to happen. The number 76 at the front of that, Elliot Hitch. As I say that, Elliot Hitch
that car number 128, Felix Tandy takes the lead of the race. Handy Tandy, some calls him, I believe. But out of the final corner, they go along the main straight. There you go. Felix Tandy leads car number 69, Caden Hanley, who's come up this race through the bank. There you go. They have pulled an ever so slightly gap to that 3rd position, who will be Ronnie Allen and Arlo Gamble and Harry Riley in that 5th place.
Absolutely. Felix Tandy, of course, I believe last season was in the Mighties. And did a sterling job in those as well. The racing is close in these, and it's just as close in the Mighties, and it's just as close in the Micromaxes.
Runs wide, and he drops back drastically, as he is now, it's looking like going to slot back in to 3rd position. So now you have a new leader, quite an easy lead then for Caden Hanley as he leads through the S's. Your leader, Felix Hanley, now dropping back. That We're Alliance Academy driver, who is, I believe, also a Super 1 and Bambino champion. It will now be a recovery drive for him.
Absolutely. I think we spoke about Felix Tandy just a little bit too much and cursed him quite considerably there, because it was as we were talking about him in detail. But coming around the final quarter, currently got the top 5 close together. 6th place back is pretty close, but that is going to be a side-by-side. Number 72 making a move down the inside. That's Arlo Gamble making a move for the lead and makes it happen. But there's Felix Tandy back into 2nd, so he's also made it work.
These youngsters not disappointing. That is Caden Hanley, Arlo Gamble, Felix Tanley, Ronnie Allen and Elliot Hitch now, who just set the fastest lap and who runs in the 5th position. All these cards pulled a slight gap. It is currently a 5-car battle for that win, but it's going to be car number 69, I believe, going down into 2nd place.
Absolutely. I think none of these want to give up the lead. It's Micromax. That's generally how it works with these ones. None of them want to give up the lead. There's a lot more battling in this in some ways than a lot of the seniors or the junior grids.
Exactly that. We're going to see a lot less strategy, but a lot more racing, which for these youngsters is definitely a good way to learn. Here we go. Bumper on bumper through the final sector they go. That is car number 72, Arlo Campbell. That leads Caden Hanley. And that is the Weir Alliance Academy already up back into 3rd, Felix Handy, but we're not going to say too much about him because we did seem to curse him on that last lap. Through the main straight they go and towards turn 1. Is someone going to have a look for 4th place? No, they slot back into 3rd. That was Ronnie Allen.
Oh, the 65's currently stopped. There's a lot of penalties just came through on the board. The 66, the 65 and the 17. The first 2 3-second penalties and the last one was a 5-second, but I don't know what happened there then. Something has evidently gone on, but again, we weren't speculating on that one. There's the penalty coming up there. But currently coming down towards the hairpin, Felix Tandy may have a dive on him. Not quite, but the lead is currently staying together. As I say, that slight poke onto the rear wheel of the 72 from the 69, and we continue with this huge battle starting to form.
I mean, we have 4 minutes left of the race, and these Micromaxes are wasting no time. There was 0.08 of a second in between the leader and that P2 on the last time they came round the main straight, but it is these 4 so far currently for the lead. They're going to go for the first time one by one into the last corner.
It's definitely going to be close for this one because Felix Tandy is certainly not going to give it up, and neither are the 2 at the front, and certainly neither is the 4th place of Ronnie Allen. So we've just got to, it remains to be seen. There's the move for the lead coming down the inside from the 69 of Caden Hanley. Easy as you like, under the Litchfield Bridge, job done, and I think that's also Tandy into 3rd. Yeah, stays in 3rd.
Another driver who we did see come up quite a few positions last weekend with us at Wilton Mill, who hasn't quite managed to do the same just yet, is Rio Pocop, car number 66, down in 8th. At Wilton Mill, he managed to come up to just outside the top 10 of that grid. And we will see what he is able to do.
There was a hand gesture there just from the leader just going, do not battle me, because otherwise we're just going to be stuck. He was just pointing ahead quite a large amount of gesticulation there from him, but it works evidently, and the 72 should probably heed the advice there, or I think we're going to see a lot of battling going on.
Our leader, Arlo Gamble, now trying to bring some strategic thinking into the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds of this race. But Arthur Bowers down in 5th place, car number 99, sets the fastest lap so far. But your leader, Arlo Gamble, Caden Hanley, Felix Tandy, Ronnie Allen and Arthur Bowers are your top 5.
Absolutely, as we come round to cross the line with a couple of minutes remaining in the race, 2 minutes 22 to be precise as they hit the line. I would say this is still all to play for. Again, standard Micromax, they're always right on each other's bumpers up at the front. And by the looks of it, they might, and I'm going to say might because there's always a chance they completely and utterly ignore what I'm saying here, which they probably should, is that they will probably start battling. But let's see if they're smart and actually work as a sort of big train. I mean, I'm seeing a move on Tandy, so there we go. So, told you.
Well, no, that is not the case. There is a change for 3rd position. That is car number 257 up now into 3rd. But no, that is Felix Tandy who takes that 3rd place back. Car number 128. There you go. Caden Hanley leads, Carlo Amble, and now Felix Tandy back as they go through the S's. A bit further down the grid, we have Caio Vieira, who I believe we saw last weekend over at Wilton Mill. And we also saw Kai Surrey, who is running a bit further down the grid. He is now in 11th. Not the best start to the day for him. Kai Surrey didn't have a great end to his Wilton Mill journey either last weekend. He ended up getting disqualified. So hopefully he's able to make some more positions up this race. But so far, there are your leaders. Still 5 carts right at the front of that pack as they head round back.
Absolutely, there does seem to be a little bit of a gap forming between 2nd and 3rd, although it is Felix Tandy. There's always the chance that he can keep that gap closing and closing. 2nd is right on the back of 1st now. The cart of Arlo Gamble right behind Caden Hanley, and the question is whether they make any sort of dive or move. And I wouldn't be surprised if they just work together, but we'll see if that remains.
Out of hairpin 1, and that was the first time we have seen them go single file into a corner this race, I think. And they're going to do the same for hairpin 2. As your leader is clearly trying to be a bit more clever now in the latter position of this race. 30 seconds to go plus a lap. We will see what your leader Arlo Gamble can do.
Absolutely, coming round into the final complex. just all trying to stay together and make sure that there's no major incidents, basically, is what they want to try and avoid now. But Tandy is slowly gaining on the karts in front. We will see at the line what this gap is. Now, they would be smart in second place to not go for it, but Tandy's having a move, and first nearly has it made. So third place is now taken by Arthur Bowers. Fair play to make the move, and he's gambling that Tandy, I don't think, is going to want that place back. But what we've seen so far, I think Tandy might want that place back.
Absolutely. Again, there was 0.06 of a second in between your first and second position there, and this is going into nearly the final lap of the race, but no, that is Arlo Gamble car number 72 straight down the inside and takes that race lead. He is going to lead into hairpin 1 now. Who is that in second? That is the car number 99 of Arthur Bowers, who did just set the fastest lap as they go through the S's. It could still be a 5-car lead for this race as someone goes heavily over that curb through the S's.
Absolutely, and the next lap will be the last lap. Arthur Bowers, of course. Oh, there's a move down the inside by the 69, and that's Tandy running wide onto the curbing. And you'd probably have to say that may be his chance at a podium done for this race. But Arthur Bowers, obviously in that very obvious bright gold helmet. It's a fantastic looking lid, I've got to admit. It's a really striking colour set. But is he going to try and make a move around the outside into the first corner? No, he's not. That's a cutback. Is he going to make that work? Not quite. And I'm pretty certain that's probably an indicator, because we are on to the final lap of the race. Arthur Bowers is now probably going to try and make a move, I would say, down his hairpin. But let's see if that holds.
Down towards hairpin 1 they go, bumper on bumper. Is your man in second position going to send it down? And he does. Straight down the inside at hairpin 1 goes Arthur Bowers, your man who set the fastest lap last lap. Now, Arthur Bowers, Arlo Gamble trying to take that optimum line and get the win back. Is he going to get the race lead back? And it looks like he is possibly going to do that into the S's. Now into the last sector of this race. And now 4 karts are now going to be challenging for this lead that has brought Caden Hanley and Ronnie Allen back into contention.
Absolutely. There's a move down the inside again for the 69. And currently that's Bowers dropping down to 4th, I believe. Bowers has just dropped 2 places in one corner. As they're coming round towards the checkered flag, the 72, the 69 and the 57, first, second and third. We'll see if anyone gets a run. Not quite. As across the line come your top 5. So that's Arlo Gamble in first, Caden Hanley second, Ronnie Allen in third, Arthur Bowers in fourth, and Felix Tandy in your top 5.
Thank you, Stuart. As always, our Micromax class, the youngsters of today, not disappointing whatsoever. It was a flag-to-flag battle for the Micromax drivers, but Arlo Gamble managed to come out on top. Dare I say it was a little bit of a commentator's curse for Felix Tandy, who dropped back in that race down to 5th on those last couple of laps. But there is your winner. Arlo Gamble, Caden Hanley, Ronnie Allen, and the fastest lap setter of the race, Arthur Bowers, who managed to come back through that grid in the latter stage of that race. It was a bit of an unlucky race for Rio Peacock. However, he did manage to come back up a few positions in the last few stages. Caio Vieira and Rio Peacock did help each other, bring each other on. Alright, and it is Minimax up next. Micromax did not disappoint, so Minimax, who are still youngsters but not quite as young as Micromax, have a lot to live up for. Are we going to see some more strategic thinking on this race? We will see. But your pole sitter, Logan Rolfe, joined by Evan Miller on the front row of the grid, Jackson Hilton and Eddie Duncan on row 2, Maximilian Abarat and Otis Cleary on row 3, George Simmons and Seren Gallagher on row 4, Sebastian Behrman and Rudra Golkanath round out your top 10. Harrison Barber and Alfie Phillipson, Thomas Laidler, Buddy Hugo, William Moore, Lewis Herbertson, George Reitman and Ethan Manzi round out that top 18. But Flynn Grantham, Jensen Skeffington, James Carver and Dean Singh Powell will be the top 22. Frank Morris and Theo Father next. Eli Owen, Leland McNeish, Teddy Roberts, Oscar Kenny, Rupert Thomas, Ayrton Galsworth and Arthur Roberts. Archie Gaunt next. And at the back of the grid will be Arthur Jardine. Right then, here we go. It is almost underway with our first Minimax heat of the day as they come around the final sector for the first time. You can see Evan Miller joining him on the front row of the grid. Evan Miller, just before we get underway with this race, I believe his mom is his mechanic, which is nice to see. Not sure if that is the setup this weekend, but she usually is. I believe she runs the show. So shout out to her if they are watching this. A driver who we have seen do very well in Super 1, lining up against Logan Rolfe, your pole sitter for this race, as they are nearly underway, coming out of the last corner.
Absolutely, everyone backing this is a very slow start as starts go in these, that's for sure, as we wait to see the start. Everyone being told to keep it nice and even here. Starts in Minimax or Micromax or any grid really, it's always just led by that lead driver. We've just got to hope that everyone gets off the line cleanly. This is a really slow beginning for this grid, as we just await to see whether they come around this corner nice and clean. But I will hand over to you to start the race for us.
It will be, and like you said, Stuart, is going to be a very slow start for the Minimax. But here we are, almost underway, and here we go. Your pole sitter leads into turn 1. Oh, we have someone slightly over the grass and rejoining that track. I think further up than he started. Round the bank, they will go. Your leader leads down nearly towards that long straight towards hairpin 1, pulling ever so slightly of a gap already.
Absolutely, first and second. We may see a potential bit of... No, that's exceptionally nice racing from the kart in second, but we got some heavy loading behind from the karts in there. But, well, I mean, it's basically part and parcel of the starts of these races. Everyone wants to try and set themselves into a good position to try and put themselves in the best possible place that they can to help them do the race. But currently,
I believe that's car number Maximilian Abrahat up into second already at the beginning of this race, car number 61. But I think we did lose our front row sitter Evan Miller. I cannot see his car. He was possibly that one that ended up on the grass in turn 1. Right, through the final corner they will go for the first time, and your pole sitter still leads. That is Logan Rolfe, Maximilian Abrahat, and Jackson Hilton. Otis Cleary and Evan Miller now down to 5th. Look, but your Maximilian Abrahat, that driver who managed to come up those 3 places in the first lap of this race, did set the fastest lap. Are we going to see him challenge for a race lead in the early stages? But this is bringing your car number 45, Jackson Hilton, into contention already. Oh, no, not quite just yet. Are we going to see the move for first? But that is car number 61, Maximilian Abrahat, the fastest car on track right now through the S's, right on that back bumper of Logan Rolfe, your race leader.
Absolutely, coming round into the final complex of corners. I'm just making sure that we have the chat up so we can potentially see how everyone is doing in there. But we're coming round towards the final complex, just waiting for them all to hit the start line. And there's still a huge amount of intercar battling here, but the lead is currently right on each other. Top 3 separated by not much whatsoever. As you come round, there's the dive for second. There's the move up into the lead, I believe, by a certain Maximilian Abrahat right there. That is an excellent move.
Exactly, Stuart, and that is how fast it brings other karts into contention. Now all 6 drivers into hairpin 1, and it looks like it could be a 6-car battle for the lead in these early stages of the race. That car, number 10 of Sebastian Behrman, did just set the fastest lap, who is down in 6th, and now bunched up they go out of hairpin 2. No change of any positions just yet, but that is going to be kart number 117, Hugo Buddy, I believe, just passing Rudra Golknath.
Absolutely. Just to put a little apology in chat, we are aware the grids on the broadcast only show the second place back. We do have written grids in front of us, however, so as it comes round to the grids, we'll make sure that you know who is in first at every opportunity, at least until Henry's here. But up until now, yeah, we are aware that the graphics are missing P1 on the grids, unfortunately. All I can do is apologise about that one. But currently, they're coming round up to the top of the hill. 5 karts all right on each other. And coming down towards hairpin 1, it's going to still be very, very close. It's whether they keep a holding pattern or they move forwards.
Exactly that. Abrahat leads. Hilton, Cleary, Rolfe, Miller, and Behrman is your top 6, who currently have that bit of a gap towards towards hairpin 2 they go, and that is going to be car number 611, Otis Cleary, down the inside out that hairpin 2 and taking that second place. You can see car number 45 of Jackson Hilton just signaling to work together to that car number 45 of Otis Cleary, who is now down into second as they are bringing all these cars behind them now into contention. But there is your leader who has pulled quite the gap, Maximilian Abarat, your fastest driver, who was your fastest driver on track, who is coming down the main straight for the first time and into turn 1. He has got a 7/10 gap for himself. He pulled that lap. Otis Cleary, Logan Rolfe. Ooh, are we going to see a move? That was a move for second down the inside. Not too sure who that was just yet. There you go, your man in second position, signaling to work together as they are trying not to bring the rest of these cars into contention, as the top 6 are looking pretty close together so far. That is car number 17, Evan Miller, making his way, trying to make his way back up that grid after his unlucky start with some grassroots for him. But through the S, your leader goes Maximilian Abarat, gap to Otis Cleary, currently 7/10.
Absolutely, it's been a fantastic run so far by Abrahart up at the front, just to make sure that he's able to keep everything running and keep that gap gaining. And second and third, by the looks of it, are currently working together to try and close that gap. But for now, he's going to keep that lead. The number 10 of Sebastian Behrman, I believe that is, going down the inside of the number 45, Jackson Hilton, to take 5th position. Very nice move by him there, as second and third, yes, are now closing, and incidentally, third, fourth, and 5th, I would say, as well.
Yes, they are. That Otis Cleary in third has obviously listened to Logan Rolfe in second, and they are trying to catch up that leader. They are not going to let him get away. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left of this race. Towards hairpin 2 they go, and the leader is getting reined in pretty rapidly by those 2 carts in second and third. Through the S they go. The leader probably taking a little look behind him, thinking he definitely needs to step on it now. That gap shrank last lap to 6/10, but I think it's going to shrink another considerable amount this lap. Looking a little bit further down the pack, you have Dian Singh Pahal, who is up 11 positions so far in this race, in 12th, just ahead, just behind Alfie Phillipson and Hugo Buddy there, in just outside your top 10. Your leader there, currently getting very reined in. Logan Rolfe sets the fastest lap, now only 2 tenths behind that leader going round the banking. Going to be right on his bumper as they head along the long straight and down towards hairpin 1. Now, is Logan Rolfe going to make a move at this stage of the race, or is he going to try and push that leader? But he does. He makes the move. Down the inside, beautifully goes Logan Rolfe for the race lead. That is Maximilian Abarat down into second. But this is now bringing that car number 611, Otis Cleary, ever so closer as they go through the S's.
An interesting development coming up behind as well is Sebastian Behrman in 4th, I believe, now. So he's up another position. And there, just as I say anything about anyone there, that's not Sebastian Behrman. No, that is currently the 45 and the number 17. So that is a battle going on between Hilton and Miller.
Evan Miller.
We're just going to wait and see as they come across the line, so we have a little bit of an updated timing. There we go. So Logan Rolfe currently in the lead with Abrahart behind, Otis Cleary in 3rd and Behrman in 4th. But this will be an interesting part of the race to see, because Behrman has closed a little bit. 3rd is definitely closing on the lead too.
Abrahart right on that back bumper of Logan Rolfe as they head towards hairpin 1. Once again, late on the brakes for your man in second, but no change for that race lead just yet. No move trying to be made. Your front 3 drivers head towards hairpin 1. Single file, they will go. But that is car number 10, Sebastian Behrman. He could be closing in. It's not impossible. He's got 5 seconds plus a lap to go. What do you think?
I'd say it would be difficult. He does look like he's dropped back a tiny bit from last lap. It'll be interesting to see the lap times as they cross the line, because it looks like he's lost about a tenth or a little bit more. And he's currently being reined in by 5th place again. So here we go, round towards the line now. It's number 135 of Logan Rolfe to cross the line. We're on to the final lap. Let's see the difference in time between Behrman. Behrman was about 3 tenths slower than Otis Cleary in front of him as the lead battle is happening. Here we go.
Here we go, last lap of the race. What changes are we going to see in this front 3 for the race lead? But Logan Rolfe actually gets a bit of a breather from that car in second, Maximilian Abarat, but possibly not. They bunch up into hairpin 1, down towards hairpin 2, single file so far, but that is a change for 4th place. That is car number 10, Sebastian Behrman, up into 4th. Ooh, is car number 6, 1-1, Otis Cleary, having a look for 2nd place. He does have a look, but he doesn't get it done just yet. Into the last sector of this race, it is still Rolfe, Abarat and Cleary. No change just yet. Still no change for the drivers, and then it will be Behrman, Hilton and Evan Miller running out the top 6. How is that car going to do? And it looks like it is going to be Logan Rolfe for the win. What a race from our minis, those top 3. A battle from flag to flag yet again. Logan Rolfe, Maximilian Abarat and Otis Cleary round out the top 3. Sebastian Behrman had a good race, coming up a few positions, up 5 places into 4th. He dropped back ever so slightly on that last lap, so he wasn't able to contend just yet for that win. However, he's got another heat today, and he will be filled with confidence after that. Jackson Hilton dropped back slightly, and Evan Miller in your top 6, who did join Logan Rolfe on that front row of the grid. Unfortunately, didn't manage to make that a podium just yet, but he's got another race to do that. Seren Gallagher and Rudra Golkanath in the top 7. Another driver who came up a good few positions will be car number 9, car number 1, 2, 3, Dian Singh Pahal, up 14 places that race. If they keep doing that, they will not set themselves in a bad position for the final. Another driver looking even further down that grid in 22nd, Arthur Roberts, who we did see start further back, but came through the grid, 10th position, started in 32nd and finished in 22nd. All right, Junior X30 are about to be underway with their first heat of the day. Now we have some very familiar names from last weekend with us over at Wilton Mill for round 1 of their club championship. We have, I know, some drivers at the front, the likes of George Egger and Rocco Shenton, who had a phenomenal weekend back there. One driver who we're not going to see on this grid today because she is over at Champions of the Future for Silverstone is Samani Kira, but your pole sitter will be Rocco Shenton. Joining him on the front row is George Edgar, Alfie Brown and Kai Clark on row 2. Katie Donaldson, who's done well, and Milen Thompson are on row 3. Freddie Wood and Jacob Marples, row 4. Jake Flewitt and Knight Measures, row 5. Jacob Batchelor and George House on row 6. George Quinlan and Finley Hines rounding at the top 14. Hayden Fisher and Harry Miles on row 8. Orion Meta and James Nolan, row 9. Callum Graham and Sam Mott, row 10. Charlie Blenkenshop and Max Teus, the Fusion Kart, on that row 11. Katie Clark, Aaron Richardson and Charles Kitely will line up at the back of the grid. Let's talk about briefly, Rocco Shenton had no qualifying over at Wilton Mill round 1, and he came right through the grid to be battling with George Egger, who did win last weekend. George Egger, those two on the front row together, George Egger coming off the back of a win at Wilton Mill, Rocco Shenton coming off the back of a phenomenal racing. He came through the pack all through the heats. Those two on the front row together, no strangers to each other, will be definitely an interesting one to watch. Freddie Wood, another driver who was starting a bit further down today, but he didn't do too bad over at Wilton Mill last weekend with us. He finished P5. I'm incorrect. He finished P5 over here at the Winter Warmer. But here you go, and it's going to be a slow start for the Junior X30 grid. Rocco Shenton on pole. George Edgar joins him on row 1, and through they go towards turn 1. Rocco Shenton leads. There we have one car ever so slightly over that grass, but he rejoins the track.
Certainly a point for me to rejoin the commentary on the race. That was an interesting moment as they all come over the bridge currently, heading down towards hairpin 1. And currently, there's probably going to be a move, or an attempt at a cutback for 4th potentially, but we'll see if that works out. I'm not too sure. But didn't. That's a move for the lead.
The 2 teammates down into Heaven 2. That is car number 94, Alfie Brown, joining Rocco Shenton at the sharp end of that grid. But no, that will be Nat. That will be George Edgar, car number 2, straight back into that 2nd position. Here you go. Shenton leads. Edgar, Brown, Kai Clark, Katie Donaldson, who has done well in that top 5 so far. Round the last sector, they will go. Like I said, George Edgar and Rocco Shenton, no strangers to each other. There you see Freddie Wood, who is going to be trying to make his way back up. There you go, your leader. Round the main straight for the first time. George Edgar is going to waste no time, and down into the race lead he goes, but was that your leader that is now on the grass? And has rejoined, and I think that was your leader, Rocco Shenton, but your new leader, George Edgar, down into Heaven 1 for the first time.
I think there's been a change for 2nd as well. Potentially. I don't know if that was a switch back and then they made it work again. That's the 2nd place is the 167. There has been. Kai Clark has actually moved up 2nd. The lead currently is the number 2. Yes, Rocco Shenton no longer in the lead.
Yeah.
Rocco Shenton is actually currently in 7th or 8th, 7th place potentially. He's
Rocco
dropped right
Shenton
back.
was straight over that grass just after turn 1 and rejoined the track not in the best position, so that will be an unlucky start for him.
Fair play to Rocco Shenton, making up 2 more positions. It'll be an interesting one, that one.
I mean, we watched him charge through the pack at Wilton Mill. I'm sure he will do that again.
Yes.
But George Edgar leads. Kai Clark, who just set the fastest lap, only 2 tenths behind that car of George Edgar. Alfie Brown, Jacob Batchelor, and Rocco Shenton round out that top 5 of this race so far. But that's car number 167 right on the back bumper of George Edgar as they head into turn 1. Are they going to battle it out so soon? Because this will bring Alfie Brown right into contention for that 3rd place. Not just yet, it's single file into hairpin 2. Oh no, but spoke too soon. Kai Clark straight down the inside, and now it is these 3 at the front of the pack straight together. That is Kai Clark, now George Edgar down into 2nd, and Alfie Brown right on that bumper now of George Edgar in 3rd.
Absolutely, coming round into the final complex. Top 3 still right on each other, but 4th, 5th and 6th are also neck and neck. The leaders, I suspect, will probably try and work together. The group behind, on the other hand, on your screen, are absolutely not working together. They are definitely pushing to try and get towards the lead, but unfortunately, I think it might be slowing them down. As we come down towards the start, there's a move down the inside with the 1-2-8 of Jacob Marples. Well made move there by him.
Absolutely. Katie Donaldson, who did start in 5th, down. There is was your race leader.
What has happened there? No, that's the number 17 there, unfortunately, of George Quinlan. An unfortunate moment up off the banking as they come down towards.
There you go. Kai Clark leads, car number 167. George Edgar, Alfie Brown, Jacob Batchelor, and Rocco Shenton. That's car number 69 trying to make his way straight back up. He is wasting no time. Though he could be working with those carts behind, he does not want to get held up. So he is saying, no, I'm going to try and catch those carts by myself. We will see. He's got 4 minutes left of the race to go. Is it going to be doable for him? We will see.
There it is. There's the 5-second penalty for Rocco Shenton, which he just flashed up on the board. I was suspecting that might have been something that happened down into the final complex where he forced his way through 2 carts. But, of course, we're not entirely sure, but that has unfortunately just popped up. We'll wait and see if it comes up on the broadcast, but it definitely showed up on the gantry.
Yeah, it is an unfortunate start for him, but there is your leader. Down hairpin 1, once again. Kai Clark leads down into hairpin 2, but no, there is a change for 2nd place. Alfie Brown straight down the inside. Ooh! Who is going to make it? They are 2 side by side into the S's, but no, I think that is George Edgar who sticks into that 2nd position with Alfie Brown now right on that back bumper heading round the last sector. Yes, it is. Alfie Brown tried to make that move. Is that him saying, nope, I am not working together anymore in this race? 3 minutes to go plus a lap. We will see what happens. Could that give the leader a bit of a gap? It didn't. It extended the lead ever so slightly, but it looks like that is not going to make a difference. Up the banking they go. Was that side by side for the lead?
Oh, I think that potentially was, yes.
Yes, it was.
Coming off the bridge now down towards hairpin 1. They're going to be right on each other. Currently in 2nd place, being chasing the number 2 is the 94 of Alfie Brown. and potentially just trying to make any sort of headway towards the first position. And currently, I think the hardest bit is just going to be finding a position to actually make that move work.
Absolutely. Alfie Brown was saying to go, George Edgar signalling to work together, as ever so slightly we are seeing Rocco Shenton rein them in now that they have started battling at this stage of the race. But that is George Edgar that leads, Alfie Brown and Kai Clark.
Absolutely, coming round towards the final corner now with the leaders. Fourth place does seem to have closed a little bit. I'm interested to see what the gap is to fourth place at the end of this lap. It's currently 1.54. I mean, round 1.26, he has closed by a couple of tenths. Unfortunately, I'm not too sure how much that helps him, because by the looks of it, that is Rocco Shenton, who unfortunately does have that penalty hanging over his head, unfortunately.
If we look slightly further down that grid, Jacob Batchelor, who started slightly further down, is now up into 6th. That car number 69. But here is your leader. George Egger leads into hairpin 2. Your man in second position right on that back bumper, and your front 3 will lead into the S's. No time between these 3 just yet.
Absolutely, still sticking together. Now, whether they'll start making moves, I think what's happening is they're working together, which is a very, very smart decision. It keeps them away from P4, because as much as Rocco Shenton's got a penalty, he will still want to battle in the race. So they ideally don't want him catching up with him so that he can start battling.
You're right, Rocco Shenton, I can imagine, will still want that on-track win. So these 3 will be making sure to try and not let that happen, as Alfie Brown sets the new fastest lap of this race for the 57th. But no, that is taken very quickly by Aaron Richardson, down in 12th, who has made his way up 12 positions currently this race. He is running in 12th, up 12 positions. He's got just under a minute to go, plus a lap. But your leaders through hairpin 1 they go. No change for the race lead again, but oh, is that car number 94 gonna have a look? Takes a slight look, but no, not just yet. Through the S they go, no change for the race lead.
Absolutely, just working their way down towards the Bobby Game corner. And there's still not much attempted to move. I think that was just a poke down the inside just to try and go, is there a possibility? And it didn't particularly look like it. And actually, I think they've started to fall off the leader very slightly. So that's an interesting development. They have fallen off very slightly. Yeah, they've fallen off by 4 tenths. That's quite a drop as we come round under the bridge.
Yes, they have. Round the bank they go. George Egger will be taking a slight deep breath, as he did, like you say, manage to pull that bit of a gap. Alfie Brown and Kai Clark will be making sure to work together, as you see that kind of bit 6 of Rocco Shenton right there now will be closing in on this front pack. He has done a good job to recover from this, but there you go, George Egger. Now no time between your leaders once again. George Egger leaves Alfie Brown, Kai Clark and Rocco Shenton, you see right there in the distance, not far behind. The clock is on 0, so we have 1 lap left of this race after your drivers come through the final sector once again. What is George Egger able to do? Is he able to keep the lead of this race? Is Alfie Brown going to be heading straight in? We will see.
Absolutely, as we come across the line to start the final lap, and unfortunate for the top 3, Rocco Shenton's caught right up to the back of them. And as we said, he's still going to want to battle. There's a potential move coming up for the lead here. Could he make a comeback? No, fantastic defence by the kart in P1, currently George Edgar. Brilliant defence down towards the hairpin, but now it's the top 4 all right on each other, and I think there's a move being set up potentially here.
Is it going to be a move? Oh, that is the car down in 3rd, now up into 2nd. That is Kai Clark. Down into hairpin 2, and he's taking a look behind him. Rocco Shenton right into contention now. George Edgar takes another deep breath as he pulls that bit of a gap. Rocco Shenton right on the inside, but he has to slot back into that 4th possession, heading into the last sector of this race. George Egger still leads Alfie Brown, Kai Clark and Rocco Shenton.
Absolutely, coming down into the final sector. That's dive by the number 6, and that's Rocco Shenton keeping moving forwards as we come around towards the final corner.
There you go, and that will be another race win for George Edgar, kart number 2. And that will be Kai Clark, and Rocco Shenton did manage to make a recovery there into the podium position. What a race. That wasn't easy for any of them, and Kai Clark in that 2nd. Katie Donaldson managed to come up into 4th, which is a good job from her. She is the 14-year-old, came 3rd in the icebreaker here not too long ago for the Jade Racing team, so she will be doing well this weekend. She set herself up so well, so far so good in the first heat. Alfie Brown, Jake Flewitt, Freddie Wood, Jacob Batchelor, Finley Hinds round out your top 10. George House, that Excel car just behind. George House was another one who last weekend had no qualifying. He heads straight in like Rocco Shenton and made his way through the pack throughout the day. Aaron Richardson, George House and Finley Hinds all managing to gain positions in that final, coming up fairly well. Aaron Richardson up 13 places, finishing just outside that top 10. Setting himself in not a bad position going into Heat 2. Alright, and we are back with the Junior Rotax for their second heat of the day. Let's see what is underway. Alright, we are going to see some new faces. For some drivers, this will be their first heat of the day. As there is so many Junior Max drivers, as always, we have 3 heats going on for them. Almost underway, circuit is green, so we will see them joining us out on the track very soon. Green flag is out, but your driver that will be on pole position once again will be Charlie Wolfett, Zach Turner joining him on the front row. Ewan House, Jacob Underhill on row 2, Joe and Neil and Aidan Hammond on row 3. Adam Joaditis, Nathaniel Gray, John Richardson, Teddy Cooper, Alex Lynn, Tom Reed round out your top 12. Theo Bradshaw and Rez Cosmin Pacquiao on row 7. Joseph Berkery and Harry Holland on row 8. Thomas Jackson and Kartik Kumeta, familiar face, on row 9. And Lily Shaw and Ali Myers for Chaos Sport on row 10. Ralph Rakayatis and Thomas Welsford are on row 11. Max Saul and Jack Beasley on row 12. Oscar Dolitek, Ethan Guest, Oddie Hole, Bailey Collinge and Jacob Gaunt will round out that grid for the second heat of today. Charlie Wolfett once again on pole, joined by Jack Torner, the Coles racing car on the front of that grid. See what they are able to do. Again, Charlie Wolfett, the 6th seed, won the icebreaker and was second last weekend with us over at Wilton Mill. However, here for the Winter Warmer, he did have a DNF, so he'll be looking to redeem himself from that unlucky result. There he is, the DHR card, wasting no time, heading round the final sector to get underway with Heat 2 for the Junior Rotax. That is Zach Turner warming those tyres of his very well before they head into this race. And joining me once again will be Stuart Rice.
Hello again. Yes, as they come round towards the final corners. Red lights are currently on. It's Junior Rotax Heat 2, so this will be an interesting race. They've already been out once. Will they be able to make it work once again? Coming into the final corner a lot quicker than some of the grids we've seen before. They're definitely more on it when it comes to the race starts. Will we get a race started away? Yes, we will. Not a false start. We are racing.
Yes, we will. Here you go. Your pole sitter leads into Walcott over the grass.
Oh dear, that's a few of them rounded the first corner, I think. We'll just see if everyone can get back on track. Looks like it. Yep, that's all good, thankfully.
Everyone really successfully through that first couple of corners, but down the long straight they go in towards hairpin 1. And your pole sitter, Charlie Wolfett, does lead. He leads to Zach Turner in that Coles Racing car right behind, and that is Convin 99 right in that third position.
Absolutely, coming down towards the chicane at the back of the outside of hairpin 2, sorry. As that's a bit of a touch there, and that's the number 61 round, unfortunately. That is the number 61 of, I'm just looking down the list right now. Why is my brain not registering the number 61 anywhere? It's Oscar Doliniak. There we go, he's right at the bottom, that's why. But unfortunately, yeah, he's right down the bottom of the grid, so I was just going through and he must have just skimmed across him.
Do you have to rub it in, Stuart?
I'm sorry. I apologise to Oscar there, that was my bad.
There you go, yes, round the back the race leader goes. Charlie Wolfett, Ewan House, Zach Turner, Joe Neal and Jacob Underhill will be your top 5 for the initial part of this race. Top 3 looking pretty close as that car car number 226 in second position is going to send it down the inside. Ooh, your leader, Charlie Wolfett, ran it slightly wide, now dropping to third. That allows the two Coles carts into first and second. Towards the S's they will go. That is now Ewan House who takes that race lead. He is going to try and get gone with his teammate Zach Turner right behind him.
Absolutely coming down into the final complex now, as they're still first, second, third right on each other. Fourth, fifth, reasonably close, but not massively gaining as well, more importantly. To come round out of the final corner, 6 minutes remaining as we finish the first part of the lap. So we're already seeing moves for the lead. Second place into first, what a move. Number 99 up into the lead, Zach Turner.
There you go, your fastest laps there of that race. Makes it clear what his intentions are and gets into the lead of the race. Towards Heaven 1 they go. Your DHR car now down into second, but possibly not for long. This is bringing carts number 722 and 34 into contention. They are getting pretty close, but round Heaven 2 they go. Ewan House will lead.
Absolutely, and you can hear Justin on the microphones there just how windy it actually is out at trackside. So that's where that noise will be coming from. There's quite a considerable, by the looks of it, wind going down the backstretch. So it'll be interesting to see how they're all dealing with that. And it's not very warm at all. It's about 5 degrees out there at the moment. So while they're probably quite warm and toasty, I really feel for the marshals and appreciate the Orange Army as per usual, because they're all stood out there in the temperatures, getting freezing cold so that everyone can go racing. So thank you very much to them, especially because I always like to make sure that they're appreciated, because they're just fantastic. But here we go, lead round up to the top of the hill and on to the first hairpin again.
If you look slightly further down this grid, Stuart, you've got Harry Holland, cart number 77, who has managed to come up 8 positions. He is now running in 7th in the start of this race. He's got 4.5 minutes to go. It'll be interesting to see where that car number 77 will be able to make his way up to in this race. But there is your leader, Zach Turner, Charlie Wolfett and Ewan House. So far, Charlie Wolfett is now the fastest car on circuit. There was a 1/10 of a second gap between the two on the last lap. We will see what it is when they come round once again.
Absolutely coming round towards the final corner now. Top 3 still neck and neck. 4th is in a bit of a void. And 5th is currently just running around in front of 6th. So they're coming down towards the start line. No moves yet for the lead. They do seem to all be working together once again. John Richardson with the fastest lap. We had him at the last TVKC round, I believe, in the comms box. Out on track, of course, setting the fastest lap of the race so far. So very good job by him. Well, actually, considerably fastest lap of the race, actually. He's setting fastest laps currently, about a second over the leaders. So, that might be a move for third. The 226 making a move. And this has actually turned into a 3-wide battle for the lead. Currently, and they're all right on it. The number 6 currently in the lead, and they're going to be 2 on wide.
But no, that is that DHR car that does manage to come out first, I believe, of that pack. That is your pole sitter, Charlie Wolfett, coming out on top. But that could not be for long, as Ewan House is right behind.
I'm just waiting to see if this comes up on our timing, because what I can see on the gantry is the 722 of Joe Neal getting a 5-second penalty in P4. Not sure what for, but unfortunately that pretty much puts him out of contention for anywhere reasonable up at the top right now, because that is 5 seconds, would currently drop him down probably to P14 or 15. So it'd be pretty damning penalty, that one, sadly.
Oh! That is your leader, comes out of hairpin 1 still, but there is a new second place. That is car number 99, Zach Turner, now right on that back bumper of your leader.
Where have all of the carts come from? That's my question. They've all just suddenly appeared.
I mean, this is obviously Junior Rotax. This is what we tend to see, but it is now about 14 cart battle, I would say, as you see some more moves being made down the pad, but it is no longer a 14 cart battle, as 3 of them end up sideways, facing the wrong way on the grass. Yellow flags are out.
34. That's Jacob Underhill down from P6 off into the barriers, sadly. So that's going to change the whole top of the order. And there's a move down the inside by the 242 of Tom Reed, I believe, on Harry Holland. So nice move there. Lead battle still top 4. Yellow flags out of the first corner. Not sure what that's for. Currently got them out under the bridge by the looks. Have we got anyone off? Not too sure.
Not that we can see, I don't think, just yet. But your lead is through turn 1. Is there going to be a change for the lead? Almost, but
Yellow
no,
flags
that
up.
is Wolfit still leads. Down hairpin 2. Wolfit leads, but there is a 3-car battle for that second position. That is Carnival 72. I can see just on the outside of that Coles cart, but no, that Coles cart will take the second position so far. Heading into the last sector of this race, we have 1 minute and 15 seconds left to go. No one is working together anymore. Still yellow flags out on that last sector of the circuit after what we saw on that last lap. But a few drivers who did benefit from those grassroots will be Joe Neal, who is now up into third.
Absolutely. Coming down into the first corner, move for P3, I believe, by the 226. That's Ewan House overtaking Joe Neal, I believe, to take the position back. As we come round towards the top of the Litchfield Bridge currently and down towards hairpin 1, there's a potential move being set up for second here by... Oh, sorry, we just lost the camera there, so that's fine. They're coming round into the centre now, so we'll try and call this as best we can.
No move just yet. Into hairpin 2, off they go. Charlie Wolfit still leads. Jack Turner, Joe Neal, and Ewan House. Round the last sector, your carts go then, and it's still yellow flags around that sector. This will be giving Charlie Wolfit ever so slightly a breather. There was no time in between those drivers on that last lap. 2 tenths to that car number 99, Jack Turner, with his teammate right behind him, Joe Neal. Could this benefit them coming into the last lap? We will wait and see. There you go, your leader once again down the main straight and into turn 1. Ewan House now up into third. Note Joe Neal dropping that little bit, but Theo Bradshaw up into 5th position, come through 7 places. Basically, I'm not sure where he started, but he did not start this far up the pack. Adam Juroditis down in 7th, bit further back, and then you have Kartik Kumeta, if we look further down, already running in 8th. But here are your leaders, the 2 Coles carts, going head to head, signaling to work together. But are they going to work together? No, that is that Zach Turner? That is car number 99, Zach Turner. Takes the race lead straight around the outside of that teammate of his. It's the 2 Coles carts. Now it looks like it is going to be no change between them just yet, as Jack Turner manages to pull that bit of a gap on the last sector of this race. Final lap, here we go. We will see what are they able to do. And it looks like it will be, there you go, the 2 Coles carts, Jack Turner and...
They've thrown the checkered flag, I believe, a little bit early, so there we go. They might have been early, I can't remember if it was the last lap at that time. But currently across the line comes the leader of the race, Zach Turner, followed by Ewan House, Charlie Wolfit and Joe Neal. Unfortunately, with that 5-second penalty, that will drop him quite a way down. And that means Theo Bradshaw will take that position. Alex Lynn moves up as well. Tom Reed in 7th, Adam Juroditis in 8th. Karthik Kumeta in 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is Raris Cosmin Pascu.
Thank you, Stuart. It will be a ever so slightly disappointing race for that car number 6, that seeded 6, Charlie Wolfit, who did start on pole. He led most of the race and then dropped back to those 2 Coles carts ever so slightly. But it is a good morning in the Coles tent for Zach Turner and Ewan House, as they come first and second. It is a Coles 1-2. It's also a good day for Theo Bradshaw, who managed to come up through that pack in 5th, not setting himself in a bad position. Joe Neal in that 4th position. Some more carts further down the grid who managed to make up some positions is Thomas Welford and Bailey Clinch, up both 12th and 8th places. All right, and next up will be Senior Rotax Heat 2. Apologies for the incorrect grids, but we have got the correct ones now. Your pole position will be Freddie Lloyd, actually, and joined by him will be Victor Hansen on the front row of the grid. Third will be Lloyd Hare and Leon Hasty joining him on that second row. Matteo Palazzo and Jack Lilly on that third row. Joshua Turnbull and George Holbrook on the fourth row. Joey Brown and Lewis Merker rounding out your top 10. DeJourn Bennett, a familiar face from Coles Racing, and Arden Sorbitin in 6th. Reese Bailey and Oliver Walker. Kai Newman, Connor Tubby, James Tester, Adam Wooden will round out your top 18, followed by Ollie Miller and Bailey Heath on that row 10, Joshua Smith, Priam Lelang on row 11, Freddie Moore and Joe Gethin will be on row 12. Guyan Eastick and Charlie Domikos on row 13, Jacob Morris and Dan Renton on that row 14, and rounding out your Heat 2 for Senior Rotax will be Willow McLeaver, Sean Cheng and Mac McClarvey. It is green then. We are just seeing some carts being taken off the track from that hectic Junior Rotax race. So we will be underway in no time with that Senior Rotax grid. I'm just getting my sheets all together. Stuart is back next to me in the commentary box, but we are having quite the hectic morning still. So apologies for no live chat just yet, but hopefully we will get to that in no time when Henry joins us, which you will still be seeing him, I believe, today. But let's have a look at this Senior Rotax grid. Here you go, your carts out on circuit then, nearly ready to go for their second heat of the day. Around the bank, they will go for the second time. Cart number 27, who I am seeing further down the pack, James Tester, the reigning PFI club champion, doesn't look like he is where he's supposed to be. He is one to keep an eye out for, as I believe this is possibly his first heat of the day. But we will see what he is able to do. He is someone who everyone knows is no stranger to winning here at PFI. So starting in 17th on that 9th row of the grid for him will be unusual. It will be a hack for him through that pack from 17th. Here we go then, they are approaching that final sector, and it will be of course a slow start for the Senior Rotax Heat 2.
Absolutely coming round towards the final corners now. Everyone bunching up, getting ready for this race start. Let's come round towards the beginning of this one in the Senior Rotax class. Everyone keeping it nice and backed up, and looks like they're going to go out of this next corner. Here we go. Will we get a good start? Let's find out.
Well, here we go. Let's go underway with the second Senior Rotax heat of this day. There we go. Everyone through turn 1 pretty smoothly with the cart on the grass there, but he is going to make it through and heading up towards the back. Through the back they go then. And it is single file so far. There is your race leader, cart number 74, I believe, heading through. Heaven 1, those top 4 already pulled a slight gap, but there is a change for second. That is car number 21. Victor Hansen up into second position already. Car number 67, Freddie Lloyd, your pole sitter, leads through the S as they go. Victor Hansen takes his second position back as they go towards the final sector for the first lap of this race. Freddie Lloyd, no stranger to winning races. He is Senior X30 British champion. Here to do some Rotax, and it is looking good so far. Approaching the final corner then, and he will, along the main straight he goes, already pulling himself quite the gap. 1.2 seconds, and looks like it's going to be a battle for that second position, which hopefully they won't want to be doing that too soon, but they are, which is going to give your leader, Freddie Lloyd, even more of a gap. Here you go then, the battle is for second lead. That is cart, oh, there you go, and there is a change for third position once again. That is car number 341. Lloyd Hare, that Dan Holland racing cart, charging down the inside, but it is Leon Hasty in second. Now these three will be wanting to make some time up on the road already. There is 6 minutes left of this race, and Freddie Lloyd has a 1.2 second gap. You know how quickly that can stretch if these three start battling for them podium positions. So I'm presuming we are going to see them starting to work together then, as there is your leader through turn 1 once again. But no, it is going to be Lloyd Hare takes a look down that inside and takes that second position of the race. Wasting no time is Lloyd Hare, but there is the gap to your leader extending by 1.8 seconds. Here we go then, towards turn 1 your leader goes along that straight. Your leader is Lloyd, Hasty, Hare, Hansen and Matteo Palazzo are your top 5 right now. But are we going to have another change for second as they go into hairpin 2? And yes, they are. That is car number 83, Leon Hasty, charging back into that second position through the S as they go down into the final sector. Hasty, not wanting to sit behind that car number 341 of Lloyd Hare, takes that second position and he's going to try and catch Freddie Lloyd by himself. But your leader doing well. He had a smooth start, pole sitter. It is not a bad start to the day for him. There you go. Through the main straight once again. Freddie Lloyd sets the fastest lap. Now his gap down, stretching to 2.2 seconds. Is there another change or second position? Oh, no, but that is a change for third. See these cards squaggling in the back are going to give your leader a considerable lead. Okay, through hairpin 1, your leader goes down towards hairpin 2. And that is Hasty, Hare, Hansen, Joshua Turnbull, and then George Holbrook back in 6th, who has just set the fastest lap of the race. Is this going to bunch up then? Because we are seeing car number 60, George Holbrook, who just set the fastest lap. He is not too far now off that pack, battling for the podium. A bit further down the pack are familiar driver DeJean Bennett, car number 393. Hasn't had a great start. He is down now into 22nd. That is not an ideal start for him. Nor for Oliver Walker, who is also down into 20th. But Mac McGlivery is up 14 places, now into 17th. Just ahead, just behind that, no, he takes it. Just behind now that Joshua car, the car number 15 of Joshua Smith and Lewis Miyako. But here is your leader. It is clean air for him as he heads down hairpin 1. But it is not for these three battling for the podium positions. That is car number 21, Victor Hansen, but no it isn't. There is a change for second position once again. Car number 83, Leon Hasty takes it. Bumper on bumper, these three are heading into the final sector. They will go. No time in between these three. This is going to bring the drivers slightly further down that grid, back into contention. They keep battling like this. Yes, you can see Lloyd Hare, you can see George Holbrook, sorry, that car number 60 right behind. Your leader gap is 2.4 seconds. Here we go, round the back they go. No change for that second place just yet. Are these three cards kind of realizing that that cart number 399, Jack Lilly, is closing in thick and fast? Is there going to be a change again for second? And it looks like, nope, there isn't. They are all sliding back in. But now Jack Lilly, who just set the fastest lap of the race, he's the fastest car out on track currently. Is he going to go down the inside? And he does. Jack Lilly down the inside now takes that third place. Where did Jack Lilly start at 6th? So he is up now into 3rd. And he is going to be charging down Leon Hasty in 2nd.
Absolutely. Mac McGilvery, I have to say, up to P15. He's up 16 positions for Craft Motorsport. So fantastic showing from him as they all come round towards the start line now. The number 67 of Freddie Lloyd is just in the next county at this point. He's right up the road, just gone under the bridge as the rest of them follow
through. He really
through.
is, Stuart, and it looks like there is not going to be any time for these drivers to make it up, as there is still a battle going on for that second position.
Wow.
That is someone down the inside for second, and now look at how many cards this has brought into play for that second place. Down to hairpin 1 they go. That is Jack Lilly in second, leads that pack, and they are single file towards hairpin 2. No moves. Oh, but yes, there is a new second place. That is the car number 83, Leon Hasty, back into that second. Oh, they are nearly 3 wide into the S's, but no, not just yet. Leon Hasty comes out second. It looks like it's going to be the battle for second this race, unless Freddie Lloyd has some form of disaster. He is 2.8 seconds down the road, and he is looking pretty confident.
Absolutely, coming round into the final corner, crossing the line. As I say, round into the final corner, leader's already crossed the line, but we've still got a battle for second place here, and it's basically well, it's the only thing we're really going to be able to show right now, because it's the most interesting thing on track. Really wide entry into the corner as an attempt to make a cutback potentially. Doesn't quite work because it was very, very well defended by Leon Hasty to keep that second place. And here comes the line of karts down to the first hairpin. Will we see a move?
Here we go, and we do, but it doesn't work out. That is caught sideways right on that apex of hairpin 1. He went for the move for 4th place, but he doesn't quite make it stick. That was car number 21, Victor Hansen, who is now right down that pack. Now Leon Hasty still leads into that second. Is there going to be a move for 3rd? It looks like there is. That is car number 319, Joshua Turnbull, I believe.
Just taking a look now, just making a double check. That is the 319. Really well picked up by the camera up there. That was excellent. The 319 currently running in P3, up 4 positions, following Jack Lilly in 2nd and Freddie Lloyd still right off on the road and actually only just entering the bridge. We have yellow flags out in the middle sector, and I'm just, it's all the way through to the final sector. I'm just wondering why. We are down to 0. That's why. The number 21 is currently at the side of the circuit by a miles post to 8. Unfortunately, that is Hansen. So that's the end of his race, sadly, as we've got the leaders coming round now. This battle is still going on furiously, and there's contact between the 360 and the kart ahead of the 83 of Leon Hasty. And there's your leader, Freddie Lloyd.
I mean, your leader, Freddie Lloyd, Stuart, is absolutely down the road. He is in completely clean air, and this race is now clock strike 0. It's the last lap. This is a case of just bringing it home for him. There is your leader, Freddie Lloyd, car number 67, heading down the main straight and through turn 1 for the first time. Jack Lilly. Onto the final lap of the race. Jack Lilly is in 2nd. It's going to be a battle for that 2nd spot because there is no one going to catch this leader at this point. Jack Lilly, Joshua Turnbull and Lloyd Hare. Right behind George Holbrook round out the top 5 of this race. Down into hairpin 1 they go. No change for that 2nd position just yet. In fact, Jack Lilly has managed to pull ever so slightly a gap, give himself a little bit of a breather in sector 2 of this race. But is there going to be a change for 5th? Possibly, as George Holbrook takes a look down the inside of Lloyd Hare, but I don't think he gets the move done. Right, down to the final sector of this race, and it's been a pretty smooth race for Freddie Lloyd, your pole sitter. He is not unfamiliar from a race win, but here we go. It is yet another race win for Freddie Lloyd here at PFI in Senior Rotax Heat 2. In 2nd then, Jack Lilly came out with that 2nd spot. Joshua Turnbull just behind. Joshua did a good job to come up through the pack in that race, possibly helped by that contact that we had at hairpin 1, and Lloyd Hare, George Holbrook round out that top 5. Leon Hasty, Matteo Palazzo and Joey Brown, Adam Wooden and Reese Bailey round out that top 10. A driver who also had a good race a bit further down that pack was Mac McGlivery, who finished 15th, but he came through about 16, 17 positions, charging through that pack, who finished just behind Oliver Walker, who managed to stay, probably the only driver who stayed in his position this race, stayed where he started. It was an unfortunate DNF then for Victor Hansen, who we saw going for that move for the P4, but wasn't able to make it stick. Unfortunately, that ended his Heat 2. Here we go then, and let's head to the next race. Okay, and it is Senior X30 up next, where we would usually see Freddie Lloyd, I believe. But no, he is Rotax this weekend. Senior X30, here we go. Let's get my notes together. Don't believe there is any karts out on track as of now recovering themselves, so it is green all round. Is it? Oh no, there is one kart over in the final sector that is just getting retrieved off the circuit. That possibly is Victor Hansen, who we had DNF the Senior Rotax. And then we will be right underway with our Senior X30. A driver who is very familiar on this grid, who had a phenomenal weekend. I don't think he didn't lead a lap at Will to Mill round 1, is Nat Johnston, who we have seen, nicknamed Nat Stappen, for those of you who know. He was P6 here in the Winter Warmer, but he had a phenomenal weekend last weekend, like I said, with us at another SlipStream event. He was very dominant in that field, so he will be going into this with full confidence. Lewis Bird, a driver who didn't quite have as good of a weekend, who won the Winter Warmer here last time. Although he was unlucky last weekend in the heats over at Wilton Mill, he will be coming in with confidence, knowing he won, but also on a bit of a redemption charge from an unlucky weekend that he had at Wilton Mill with us. But here we go. We are green and off towards the grid, our Senior X30 head. We had a spin, I think, but now that driver has managed to put themselves back on the tarmac, and through they go. Off we go. It will be Aaron Brown on pole, followed by Nat Johnston joining him on that front row of the grid. Tristan Powell, Liam Karebalov, Alexander D. Benedictis, Leif Khan, Ethan Woodward, Spencer Allen, and that is car number 87, who trying to rejoining himself onto the track. He's getting back in his car. Anyway, 5th row of the grid, Hayden Eldridge and Jack Buckley. Row number 6, Lewis Goff and Jack Nettleship. Taj Buckley and Freddie Lloyd will be joining us on the 7th. Cameron Edmonds and Lewis Bird round out the top 16. Oliver Meek, Dylan Patel, Reese Newburn, Dorian Malek, Sam Lewis, Jack Dan, James Harris, Mayhem Patel, Zeph Nurberger and Monty Breathwaite, Joey Brown, Alex Weil, Ethan Higgins, Oscar Cole, Archie Cole, Macy Hitter, Piotr Juridic, Bradley Heath and Morgan Moore. Right, here we go, just in time, and we are nearly underway with the Senior X30 Heat 1 of the day. Here we go, into the tram lines they go, the Senior X30, and no, it is going to be a false start. I believe we do still have a driver recovering themselves at the back of that grid. Yes, we do. So they will go around once more. That gives us time to podcast from the grid. We have Mason Hitter a bit further down, car number 333. I believe the only girl on this grid. She DNF'd the Winter Warmer here, so she'll be looking to redeem herself, but she is, I believe, testing Formula 4 with Storm Motorsport. She is in a campaign to get herself on the Formula 4 grid for 2027. Of course, keeping herself sharp here at PFI, joining us once again. Hopefully she will have a better weekend. Some more drivers. Lewis Goff, who is also joining us. Where is Lewis Goff starting? He is starting on that 6th row grid. Lewis Goff is a Janetta Junior driver, or was, I believe, and he came 5th here at the Winter Warmer. Again, another driver who knows he's fast at this track, who will be looking to charge through that pack as he is starting down in 11th place. Here we go then. Final sector goes your karts. It will be a slow start, but hopefully an official start this time. There is your pole sitter, Aaron Brown. Nat Johnston right behind.
Absolutely, coming round onto the final corner now. As you say, quite a slow start, but that is to be expected. The cloud of blue following them as they come round to start this race, hopefully on the second time of asking. Here we go, round the final corner, watching those lights. Will we get a race start? Yes, we will. They're underway, 8 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. Here we go. Will they go through the first corner? No, that's a bit of skiffles going on there.
God.
There we go. Somehow everyone's made it through without being collected. So we'll take that as a positive.
Absolutely. Up there for the reaction times of these Senior X30 drivers. It was a messy start. There is just some cards there just after turn 2 trying to rejoin the track still. But that was a good start for your pole sitter, car number 6, who has managed to keep that race lead. Nat Johnston, who joined him on the front row, is in 2nd.
So Nettleship's out, unfortunately. I think that was number 75, who's just had the kart dragged off the circuit. So unfortunately, he's out of the race. I think the other kart managed to get going. I can't see he's stopped anywhere. Yep, there we go, the number 65.
We do have a few stragglers at the back, but everyone managed to avoid, which they did a good job.
That's the number 65, Ethan Higgins, who managed to get back moving, so good on them.
Here we go, round the final corner for the first time. Aaron Brown, your pole sitter leads. Nat Johnson, Tristan Powell, Liam Karabalov and Leif Can are your top 5 so far in this race. Round the bank they go and on towards the straight. You can see Nat Johnston now is on a charge. He is about to be right on that back bumper, and no, he takes a move for the inside for that race lead. Nat Johnston is your new race leader, wasting no time. Down into hairpin 2, Nat Johnston now leads. Aaron Brown down into second, but that is car number 118, Tristan Powell, right there waiting for some action down in third. These three have pulled quite a considerable gap already, about 9/10, but we will see what Liam Karabalov is able to do with that. Car number 34, that is down in fourth, just ahead of Leif Can and Jack Buckley.
Absolutely, as they all come round to finish the lap, the leaders are still in that group of 3. I think there may be a move for second coming here down onto the start line. There is a move for second, moves through to the inside and just under the bridge, makes it done and makes it stick before they start climbing up the banking. So as they come all round, oh, there's some properly close battling further back in the pack, as well as number 37 and the 89 go at it. That's the number 37 of Reese Newburn and the 89 of James Harris having a proper little battle going across the start line. Lead battle still close, however.
Like you said, Stuart, that was Tristan Powell who made that move right at turn 1, now up into second. These two aren't too far off your leader, Nat Johnston, who has got a gap of just over 3/10, but we will see these, like we saw in the last race, if these two start battling for that second spot, Nat Johnston is just going to soar away, which I believe is what happened to him last weekend over at Wilton Mill. If we take a look further down that pack, car number 8, Morgan Moore, who is currently up 18th positions, is running in 17th, just behind Dylan Patel and Karen Edmonds, but oh my gosh, Morgan Moore is on a charge. Anyway, through the bank, your leaders go. No change in that top 3 just yet. Round back they go. And that P4 is now 3 seconds behind. Not been able to make any ground up to your new leaders, but that P4 of Leif Can is now in a bit of his own track.
Absolutely. The leaders currently have broken off up the road. There's a huge group behind as well, who's just coming down to hairpin 1. The 4th place is really just sort of in their own. Yeah, it's a strange one at this point. There's always this sort of holding pattern. As I do apologise, we've just lost the timing a little bit, so we'll just make sure to grab that back in a moment. But yeah, currently it's sort of that holding pattern where everyone's just like, don't really want to battle, or you just start losing ground to everyone else.
Exactly that, Stuart. We have got 4 minutes left of this race, which you will see back on the screen soon. That was car number 51 running a little bit wide there nearer the back, but Nat Johnston through turn 1 extends his gap to about 4/10, but your fastest man on track is Tristan Powell in P2, that car number 188. Is he going to hunt down Nat Johnston in time? He's got 4 minutes to do so, plus a lap. I'm sure we will see some racing. This is your top 3, fairly spread out, heading towards hairpin 1. Nat Johnston will be the first one through. Tristan Powell, Aaron Brown, Leif Can and Freddie Lloyd now up into that 5th spot. A bit further down the pack, we have some sends into hairpin 1. That was car number 62. Who do we have? That was Jack Dan down in 20th, heading up now into 19th, just ahead of Cameron Edmonds and Ethan Woodward, Ethan Woodward unfortunately has dropped back a bit this race, down about 12 places back into 19th. Is he going to be able to make his way back up? We will see.
Absolutely, leaders heading under the bridge as we speak, but this battle going on back here is still possibly the most interesting thing going on at track at the moment. Round the final corner, there's a huge group ahead of them. I'm just trying to see the numbers. That's the 159 making a move down the inside of the 67 to the 159 of Alex Wiley. Has just made it down the inside of Oliver Meek, so an exceptional move to make that work. As currently we've got a battle going on in the pack behind the lead, all trying to get there, but they're not really battling. Now this is a huge group coming down. Here comes that group again. That's a move to the outside as they come round halfway through this lap, just to make sure that they're all trying to be, I mean, they are not playing to catch the lead at all here. They're all just going, we need to battle, I think, and that's the important part for them. Lead is staying around the same, I'd say.
Yes, absolutely. There you go. Ooh. Nat Johnston. Ooh, that was car number 215. This is the mid-pack battle, which is proving to be more busy than the battle at the front. There you go, Nat Johnston. However, Tristan Powell has considerably closed that gap to your leader. Are we going to see him make a move for the race lead this lap? He has reined Nat Johnson in. He is now 3 tenths behind. Pulled that gap on Aaron Brown in third. Down into hairpin 1 they go. Lay on the brakes for all 3 top drivers and down towards hairpin 2. Nat Johnson still leads. He's going to take a slight look behind him to see Tristan Powell is now right there. Through the S's they go. A bit further down the pack, that is someone making a move down the inside. Who is that? I'm not too sure who that car was. That was car number 33. But through they go. Tristan Powell, your fastest car on track, 3 tenths behind the leader, and he's got 1 minute 20 plus a lap to go.
Absolutely, leaders coming down the start-finish straight now, and that is currently going to be a battle for the lead right now. Coming up onto the bridge, out of the bridge. Now that's a move just down the inside, and has he made it stick onto the bridge?
Yes,
coming off, he has, yes, coming down towards the first hairpin now.
There you go, Tristan Powell, your new race leader. Nat Johnson now down in second place. Right, look, seeing Aaron Brown is right there. But these 3, no further change for them 3. But Nat Johnson into hairpin 2. He says, no, I will take that back, thank you. And that will be car number 15 now. Is he going to make that race lead stick? No, he is not. That will be Tristan Powell back in the race lead. Now this brings these 3 even more. Oh, we do have a car off the track.
So that's currently a hairpin 2. That's number 10, attempting to be forcibly removed from the number 78's car. So that is the 78 of, oh no, that's Laith Khan and Jack Buckley. So they were in 5th and 6th previously. Leaders just come across the line to start. I would take a guess at the penultimate lap. There we go. Those carts are definitely, I don't think, going many places.
No,
a reasonable level of.
Unfortunate for them. That is 2 more carts out of this race.
I think they'll be able to get back on track, but yes, as I say, it's probably not going to be an ideal situation for them. Lead battle close. Top 3, I believe, coming down towards the second hairpin. There they are on your screen. And there's, oh dear. That's a red flag. We have a red flag. Carter off under the bridge. Looks like there's been heavy contact under there. We'll try and bring you some more information on that as we can. It looks like everyone was at least up and moving, but we will confirm at some point. I will quickly have to just hop out to sort stuff on the production for this one, but I will leave that with you.
No problem. Thank you very much, Stuart Rice. Stuart Rice is absolutely multitasking today. May I add, he is between the commentary box and the production box currently right now, but that is a red flag for our Senior X30. We will give you more information when we have it. There is a few carts up off just before the banking, but we will see. We are yet to see what that is, although I think everyone is up and moving. The ambulance and the Orange Army are out to assist, out to help. So far, unfortunately, that was Laith Cam, Jack Buckley and Morgan Moore out of that race, as well as Alexander D. Benedictis and Jack Nettleship. It's an unfortunate DNF for them, and we also have Oscar Cole and Zeph Nerberg. But everyone is in, while our Orange Army just keep working on the incident that we've had out on track. You see, there are actually carts on a few parts of this track right now. That was quite a hectic final lap for our Senior X30, but everyone is getting assisted to right now. We're going to throw to a small ad break just while we get more information for you, but we will see you shortly after.
SlipStream, the way to watch all the best club karting live and on demand. It takes just 1 minute to become a channel member and get your virtual SlipStream pass. Hit the join button on our YouTube channel and follow the prompts. Using an iPhone? Do this via Safari to avoid paying an extra fee. Channel members get early access to the Bump Draft podcast, as well as 7 days exclusive access to the event finals. Plus, they also get priority chats read live by our commentators, so you can show your support for your favourite drivers. It's a rolling 30-day membership and you can cancel at any time. Join SlipStream today to enjoy live club karting and help promote the grassroots of our sport. Have you ever watched a kart race and felt the excitement, the speed, the competition, the energy, and thought, I'd love to be part of that? Well, here's your chance. Our kart race meetings are powered not just by drivers and teams, but by an incredible group of volunteers who make every race day possible. Without them, the racing simply wouldn't happen. Whether you're a motorsport fan, a parent of a driver, someone looking for experience, or you just enjoy being part of a team, we'd love to have you join us. What can volunteers do? There's a role for everyone. Track marshals, right at the heart of the action, ensuring safety on circuit. Grid and pit lane assistance, helping line up karts and keep the race meetings running smoothly. Scrutineering support, assisting with safety checks. Race control and administration, supporting timing, paperwork and organisation. Event setup and pack down crew, the team that makes it all happen behind the scenes. No prior experience? No problem. We provide training, support and mentoring. All you need is enthusiasm and reliability. Why volunteer? Be part of the thrilling world of kart racing. Learn new skills and gain valuable experience. Meet like-minded people and make great friends. Get close to the action in a safe and structured environment. Support grassroots motorsport and young drivers chasing their dreams. Many top racing drivers started their journey in karting. Our volunteers are part of that story. What's the commitment? You can volunteer for a single event or become a regular member of our team. We run regular race meetings throughout the year and every event needs dedicated people like you. Even a few days a year makes a huge difference. If you'd like to get involved with Trent Valley Kart Club, please speak to us today in the race control office or contact us at claire@tvkc.co.uk. Come and be part of the team that makes race day possible. Because when the lights go out and the race begins, it's not just the drivers who make it happen, it's all of us. Thank you, and we hope to welcome you trackside soon. SlipStream, the way to watch all the best club karting live and on demand. It takes just 1 minute to become a channel member and get your virtual SlipStream pass. Hit the join button on our YouTube channel and follow the prompts. Using an iPhone? Do this via Safari to avoid paying an extra fee. Channel members get early access to the Bump Draft podcast, as well as 7 days exclusive access to the event finals. Plus, they also get priority chats read live by our commentators, so you can show your support for your favourite drivers. It's a rolling 30-day membership and you can cancel at any time. Join SlipStream today to enjoy live club karting and help promote the grassroots of our sport. Have you ever watched a kart race and felt the excitement, the speed, the competition, the energy, and thought, I'd love to be part of that? Well, here's your chance. Our kart race meetings are powered not just by drivers and teams, but by an incredible group of volunteers who make every race day possible. Without them, the racing simply wouldn't happen. Whether you're a motorsport fan, a parent of a driver, someone looking for experience, or you just enjoy being part of a team, we'd love to have you join us. What can volunteers do? There's a role for everyone. Track marshals, right at the heart of the action, ensuring safety on circuit. Grid and pit lane assistance, helping line up karts and keep the race meetings running smoothly. Scrutineering support, assisting with safety checks. Race control and administration, supporting timing, paperwork and organisation. Event setup and pack down crew, the team that makes it all happen behind the scenes. No prior experience? No problem. We provide training, support and mentoring. All you need is enthusiasm and reliability. Why volunteer? Be part of the thrilling world of kart racing. Learn new skills and gain valuable experience. Meet like-minded people and make great friends. Get close to the action in a safe and structured environment. Support grassroots motorsport and young drivers chasing their dreams. Many top racing drivers started their journey in karting. Our volunteers are part of that story. What's the commitment? You can volunteer for a single event or become a regular member of our team. We run regular race meetings throughout the year and every event needs dedicated people like you. Even a few days a year makes a huge difference. If you'd like to get involved with Trent Valley Kart Club, please speak to us today in the race control office or contact us at claire@tvkc.co.uk. Come and be part of the team that makes race day possible. Because when the lights go out and the race begins, it's not just the drivers who make it happen, it's all of us. Thank you, and we hope to welcome you trackside soon.
Apologies for that ad break. We are still under a rad flag for our Senior X30s. However, the carts are being removed from the track right now, and we will get back to you when we have an update on those drivers. But we do wish everyone is okay, and I believe all drivers are out and talking and walking, so hopefully they will all be okay, but we will have more information for you soon. Unfortunately, that is an end to our Senior X30 race. That's an end to their first heat of the day. It wasn't the best end, but we hope for their second heat to be more successful. We do still have our Orange Army still just on the track, helping out that one driver and the car who I believe had a problem just after turn 1, but they are coming off the track now. This is times where we are really grateful for that Orange Army of ours who run, whether their own safety is at risk or not, run straight onto that track to help these youngsters out there and ensure the safety of each and every driver we have out on circuit. So another shout out and a big thank you to all of our Orange Army today, because we could not go on without all of them, each and every one of them. But hopefully we will be underway with the next race soon, which will be Micromax Heat 2 of the day. That is our first rotation of heats, all complete, I believe, and each driver in Junior and Senior Rotax have all completed one heat. We'll be moving on to our youngsters, which we saw quite the race from them in Heat 1. These youngsters, of course, some only 8 years old. I mean, what were you doing at 8 years old on a Sunday? Probably before they head to school tomorrow. I mean, they had a crazy race. They completed the whole race battling, changing for positions every single lap. That lead place was switching every single lap. So I reckon that is to be expected from their Heat 2 as well. These youngsters will be out very soon. Apologies for the delay, everybody, but the track is being cleared right now, and you can see some of our Orange Army sweeping up just those few debris that are left. Okay, we're just going to take another short pause ahead of this next race, just while the track and the final bits get cleared. But we will be back shortly with Micromax Heat 2. Okay, apologies for another short break, everyone, but that driver is officially off the circuit and will be checked out now by the medical staff. The track is just about cleared, I believe, and the marshals are heading back into their positions, which means we are shortly going to be underway with the second rotations of heats. No further update on that driver just yet, but we will let you know as soon as possible. Joining me back again will be Stuart Rice, our producer.
Absolutely, just stood at the moment, just waiting on circuit. Green flags have just gone out on the boards, so hopefully that is a good sign that we will be back racing soon. I'm just keeping an eye. That looks... Just waiting for any update on our end, basically. So, as it stands now, I believe the driver has been taken to the medical centre, so they were, at the very least, talking, so that's good. But I believe they have been taken to the medical centre, so we probably won't have any more information for you at this time. So, and we, again, that's just one of those things, we won't have the information just now, but hopefully everyone is okay. That's all we can hope. But they are being attended to, and that's the important thing.
Thank you for that, Stuart. But while we have a bit of a break, let's talk a bit about you, shall we? Your role here is usually producer for Alpha Live. Do you want to tell us some championships you've predominantly worked with?
So predominantly I've sort of worked on the championships such as Super One, things like that. Super One was one of them.
So there is many drivers here today that you'll be recognising from Super One?
Definitely a few names I'm recognising. It's also weird having done it for the last couple of years where you see drivers going up through multiple classes. And it's good to see them going up through the multiple classes. Just purely because it's great to see progression on that front. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's just a very big variety of drivers across a very big variety of championships, and it's always interesting to see the difference in quality, and I've never seen a drop in quality per championship, so that's good. All the championships are excellent from what I've seen.
Exactly that, and obviously as karting is getting more up and coming, more popular, there's more viewers, there's more streams, it's definitely improving, and that's nice to see, isn't it, as someone who produces?
Yes, absolutely. Just going to check the chat, have a look at anyone who's saying hello. We have a few people. We've had a poll, incidentally, set up by, I believe, the wonderful David, who is currently adminning us stuff on the channel, and the will the weather stay dry?
The weather.
Ooh, that's a choice.
Ooh,
yeah, will the weather stay dry?
That is always a risky topic here in the commentary box. When I looked at the weather, I thought it was going to be dry, so let us know in the live chat if that has changed.
Absolutely, that's one of those things. It's we've had a shout out to Teo Palazzo by Scott McDowell, so apparently the wacky final boss, which is a great way of wording someone's position. We've had Robert Vaughan, good luck to Jacob and Archie Gaunt, Jag Motorsport, love from Mummer and Pops, so that's excellent to see as well. And Dirk going good luck to Rocco, Alfie, George, Jacob and George as well.
Well, they were all at the sharp end of that grid, weren't they? So the good luck went a far way.
Exactly. We've had also one from Laura McCacken. I believe that's McCacken? Sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation of your surname.
Well, usually I have Henry here to tell me when I'm butchering it, but he hasn't arrived just yet.
And that sounds like the grid's about to go out for the next race, so I will speak in a moment.
Here we go, and it is green flag for our Mini-Max, I believe. I'm just going to check that that is correct. Is it Mini-Max? Okay, and yes, sorry about that, I was correct. It is Micromax Heat 2 about to be underway. After a short break for our Micromax, they are absolutely ready and roaring to go. Your pole sitter, Arthur Bowers, is right there, heading straight down the straight, warming those tyres for each Micromax. Right, your pole sitter, Arthur Bowers and Ronnie Allen. Row 2 will be Felix Tandy and Harry Riley. Row 3, Caden Hanley and Arlo Gamble. Row 4, Elliot Hitch and Rio Peacock. Closing out your top 10s, Bobby Slater and Kai Sori, and Kaio Vieira and Caden Hikora will round out the back of this Micromax grid. Well, heading quite fast into the last sector they are, as we are about to get underway with Heat 2 for the drivers. I mean, the last race we saw, it was a change for the lead nearly every single corner, and it was a battle for it every corner. Each driver taking a look. Felix Tandy unfortunately got quite unlucky there. So and it's not a driver who we usually see any further back than at the front of the pack. So we will be waiting to see if he can redeem himself in this next heat. Okay, and your drivers around the final corner and into the tram lines they go. And here we go, underway with Heat 2 of our Micromax. And it was your pole sitter Arthur Bowers who leads into turn 1. Oh, and we have a couple of carts just turned around there after turn 1. but it looks like everyone is going to drive away from the incident, and around the back they go. Right, back onto the straight. That was your pole sitter, Arthur Bauer. That leads from car number 57, Ronnie Allen, I believe. Top 4 right out there heading towards turn 2.
Absolutely. Got a couple more shout-outs in the chat just whilst we have a little bit of a holding pattern here. We got Layla Bell Racing in the chat. Good luck, Logan Rolfe and Lewis Herbertson in Inter, and Stanley Stafford Jr. And also one of my favourite names in the chat ever, the Mr. Lord Pancake. Good luck to all the Ultimate R drivers from the Tiny Carter. That is an excellent one too. So happy to see everyone in the chat today. Anyone you want to shout out to within reason, and who is racing today, you may absolutely give them that shout out. We'll do our best to keep an eye on the chat as we can.
Thank you, Stuart. And like we said, apologies for the silence from the live chat this morning. As we have mentioned many times this morning, Alpha Live have had quite the morning. But Arlo Gamble, your pole sitter, leads into turn 1 once again. Arthur Bowers and Felix Tanley now up into that 3rd place. Felix Tanley started in 3rd, so no position change for him just yet. But your front 4 are bunching together as they head towards hairpin 1 down this long straight for the Minimax grid. It's going to be Arlo Gamble to lead in, but that is Ronnie Allen down the inside of Felix Tanley there for that 3rd. Doesn't quite get the move done. He slots back into that 4th position. Round hairpin 2, they will go Arlo Gamble, Arthur Bowers, Felix Tanley and Ronnie Allen into the S's. A bit further down the grid,
There you go.
we've got Caden Hikora and, sorry, apologies for my stumbling, Kaio Vieira and Caden Hikora, Bobby Slater, all up a couple positions to be fair at the start of that race. I think that's due to the contact in the initial stages. But I don't think we had any retirements. Nope, that is just some recovery drives for those drivers. It will be, once again, your leader, Arlo Gamble, and now Felix Tanley, who is just at the fastest lap, right there up in 2nd position. This is what we are used to seeing from Felix Tanley, only 3/10 now behind your race leader. He is looking to redeem himself after that first heat. It wasn't all the fault of his own that he dropped back a bit, but he is on wasting no time this time. You can hear how windy the track is out there for the drivers. Oh, late on the brakes goes Felix Tanley into hairpin 1. Not going to get that move done just yet for the race lead, but I don't think he'll be far off. Into hairpin 2 they go. Arlo Gamble leads once again. Felix Tanley, Arthur Bowers and Ronnie Allen in that 4th place. Your 4 top drivers have about just over a second between that 5th place of Elliot Hitch and Caio Vieira. However, that driver down in 7th place, car number 69, Caden Hanley, has just set the fastest lap. He is on a charge with Caio Vieira to head back up further that grid. And then unfortunately it will be a recovery drive for the 8-year-old Harry Riley, who was, I believe, one who had a bit of an unlucky start at that turn 1. But once again, your front 4 now getting pretty close together. Arthur Bowers, car number 99, sets the fastest lap as they head up and around the bank. Arlo Gamble still leads, but now these 4 drivers are very close together. Down into hairpin 1. Are they going to work together? Because last race we saw no mercy from any of these drivers. And yes, it is going to be a move down the inside from Ronnie Allen into 3rd position. Is he going to make it stick? And yes, he does. Ronnie, now that is Arthur Bowers, your fastest car on track currently, down into 4th. Ronnie Allen now signalling just to work together with that car number 99 of Arthur Bowers, who he just passed, to catch those leaders together, which at this stage in the race is looking very, very likely. We have 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go, and your top 4 are pretty close together. They are set apart by half of a second. Arlo Gamble, your pole sitter, still leads this race.
Absolutely. Coming down towards the first corner. He's, as you say, he's still leading the race. I don't believe he'll still be leading this race after that one. No, the 99 up into the lead. Arthur Bowers takes the lead up onto the banking. And now we have a 4 kart back into the lead, actually. Didn't actually spot the 4th place kart there just at the time, but they have appeared and they are now with us. Just watching them down here. I'll wait for a little break in proceedings before I can mention a couple of things about this broadcast. But yes, coming down towards the first hairpin.
Ooh.
No moves just yet. A little bit of a hand gesture to go. Thanks for the bump from behind, basically. But no further contact there, so that's always good to see.
That is right, Stuart. No change in those top 4 just yet, which is unusual as to what we have seen previously. Through the S, your front 4 go, who have pulled quite the gap now on that your man in 5th place, Caio Vieira, car number 118. Round the last sector they will go. If we look slightly further down that grid, Harry Raleigh and Kai Story still trailing around at the back, trying to recover after their unfortunate starts just after turn 1. But it will be a slight hack for Caden Kiora, who has just passed those 2 carts. Right, okay. Into turn 1 they go once again, and I believe it is a new change for 2nd place. Arthur Bowers once again leads, but the fastest man on track is on number 69, down in 7th.
Absolutely. I do need to mention a couple of things. Obviously, this is a SlipStream broadcast powered by Alpha Live. So basically on that front, we have all of these heats currently free to view for everyone. And once we get to the finals, that will then be behind and only for SlipStream members with our SlipStream Pass. 1 monthly sub, it unlocks all SlipStream events, not just TVKC. That's every event we do on SlipStream, live and on demand, and that's a monthly rolling pass, so you can cancel that at any time, basically. After 7 days, those finals this afternoon, so obviously we're about halfway through the morning's races. On those finals, that will go to members only. 7 days after, it will become free for everyone to watch on the finals.
We don't want to be watching it 7 days after, do we? We
No.
want to be watching it right here, right now,
Exactly.
with us. So make sure you have another rotation of heats before we head into the finals. Make sure you are signing up to SlipStream so you can watch them right here, right now, with us.
A very important note to mention is if you are on Apple, don't sign up through the App Store. You can go through a web browser, which would make it a lot better because Apple do the Apple tax. Where they take a bit of money on top, and we'd rather be getting the best value for that possible. So you can do that through your browser. Don't do it through the App Store. Do it through another way. And to do that, there is a join link just below the stream. You can click that. It will give you all the information on there as well. And then that's all good. And back to the racing, because we've only got 40 seconds remaining. I just wanted to get that out of the way just so it's mentioned right now so that people don't get around to it and go, oh, no, where's the finals? That's how you can see the finals this afternoon.
Not at all. Thank you very much, Stuart. And make sure to let us know in the live chat once you have signed up, and you will be here watching the finals with us at PFI later this afternoon. So far, we have not had another change in this top 4 for our Micromax. Bowers leads Alan, Gamble and Tandy right at that pack at the front. I believe these 4 have decided to think strategically for this race. They have pulled quite the gap on that driver in 5th position, Caio Vieira. So they will now be battling it out, as I think we've got 1 more lap plus a lap to go. Off-Bauer leads round the bank to Ronnie Allen, Gamble and Tandy once again.
Absolutely, just coming off of the bridge now, heading down towards the first hairpin. Everyone's sort of sticking together. Probably won't see a move from there, but as I say that, no move. No, they're all trying to sort of stay with each other. I think a move from that distance would definitely be a robust move if I had to use a word to describe it. But no, thankfully everyone's staying relatively safe and keeping it nice and simple coming towards the end of the race. But yes, this will be the lap before the last one, so penultimate lap, final lap coming up at the end of this one.
Exactly that. If we take another look a bit further down the grid, Caio Vieira in the car number 118, we have mentioned, who is currently up 6 positions this race. Caden Hanley now down into 6th, but Elliot Hitch yet to change. He started 7th and he is currently running in 7th. Then you have Bobby Slater, who I believe is part of the Slater family, well known in racing. Anyway, we're on to the last lap of this race. Your man in 3rd, Arlo Gamble, is the fastest driver on track. Here we go, round the banking they will go for the last time. No change just yet. Arthur Bowers, Ronnie Allen, Arlo Gamble and Felix Tandy. Down towards hairpin 1, where we frequently see moves for the race lead or second be made. Are we going to see anything? No. Your driver in 2nd position goes slightly defensive, and no, they are 1 by 1 through hairpin 1. Into hairpin 2 again, but that is a send down from Felix Tandy up into 3rd place, and he gets it done, and he makes the move on that car number 57 of Rolly Allen, I believe, who is now down into 3rd. But for the final time, your leaders are approaching and going through the final sector of this race. There is your race leader, Arthur Bowers, who has led most of this race. He's had a pretty smooth race, though Those drivers have been right on his tail behind him. There was 1/10 to split him and Rolly Allen that last race. But that will be your winner. Arthur Bowers comes across the line. Followed by Arlo Gamble, who was your fastest driver on track. Felix Tandy, who has redeemed himself after his unlucky first race. And Rolly Allen to round out that top 4 that were at the front by themselves. 2 seconds behind, Caden Hanley managed to come back up from Caio Vieira, and Caio Vieira then finished just behind in that 6th place. Elliot Hitch, Bobby Slater, Rio Pocock, Harry Riley, Kai Story and Caden Okoro were unfortunately those drivers who did have to make a bit of a recovery drive after that contact or difficulty they had at the beginning stages of that race. But in head your Micromax. That is 2 heats down for the Micromax. We saw quite a different race there than we saw from the first one. The first one we saw no mercy. We saw change for the lead every single lap, every corner. However, this time we saw a lot more tactical thinking. So that is all part of the learning for these Micromax drivers, the youngsters, the youngest drivers who are out on track today, all heading back in. All ahead of the main event, which of course, like Stuart was just telling us, if you sign up with us on SlipStream, we can watch a final later this evening, right here, right now, with us here at PFI. There we go, and that is car number 65 heading in, but on to the next race we will go. All right, Minimax, Heat 2. All drivers ready to go. All 35 Minimax drivers on this grid, ready to head out. And it will be Logan Rolfe, once again, on your pole position, joined by Evan Miller, once again, on that front row of the grid. Jack Hilton and Eddie Duncan on the 2nd row. Maximilian Abarat, who we saw do a phenomenal drive in that first heat, and Otis Cleary on that 3rd row. George Simmons and Saran Gallagher on the 4th. Sebastian Bierman, Rudra Golkanath will round out the top 10. Harris Barber and Alfie Phillipson are your 6th row. Thomas Laidler and Buddy Hugo for the Zip Factory team. William Moore and Lewis Herbison are your top 16. George Reitman and Ethan Manzi for Coles Racing are row 9. Hugo Torpy and Flynn Grantham for Thule Motorsport are row 10. Jensen Skeffington and James Carver are row 11, followed by Dian Singh Patel and Frank Morris. Apologies if I am pronouncing that name wrong. Theo Farah and Eli Owen on that row 13. Leland McNeish, Teddy Roberts, Oscar Kennedy and Rupert Thomas. Ayrton Galsworthy and Arthur Roberts. Now, joining us at the back of the grid will be Archie Gaunt, Arthur Jardine and Noah Hammond. Right, here we go. And through the final sector, your Minimax drivers will go. There is your pole sitter getting ready to line it up for himself, Logan Rolfe with the KR Sport, followed by the privateer Evan Miller, who I mentioned, I believe his mom is his mechanic, unless that has changed. His mom runs the show, I believe, there with that white helmet in the BFM kart. Round they will go, and Stuart is back with us now for the start of this Micromax race.
Absolutely, coming round the final corner, all making sure to keep it all nice and in formation. We'll see if we get a race start this time round. Red lights are on the gantry. They're all coming out the final corner, getting ready to start this one. Are we ready to go? Yes, we are. That is a race start across the line. Everyone fans out and we start this race. Everyone going through the first corner nice and safe. Good to see. Heading onto the banking, however.
Look at that. What a beautiful start.
There's the yellow flag. There's a car round there. How on earth has everyone gone round it?
Too soon. No, too soon. I did it.
Yeah.
It was almost the perfect start for the Minimax. But there is your leader, your pole sitter.
Oh,
Logan
no.
Rolfe.
We've really cursed it now. There's a pile of them off at the end of the bridge. Oh dear. Thankfully, everyone's okay. But that is a fair few carts off there, so everyone else continuing round on their way. Leaders, however, have managed to make a nice gap because of that.
If we look to the sharp end of the grid at that pack, we've got Evan Miller again, once again, not the best start for him, now dropped down to 4th initially. However, not quite as bad as his first start. We will see if he's able to make his way back up. He is now running just behind that DHR car. I believe that he is just behind. Right. Out of the final corner and in is side by side for the race lead. Those two carts, numbers 51, your pole sitter, and that car number 61, Maximilian Abarat, I believe, again, coming in with that strong race start.
That looks like a full course yellow. That's a full course yellow. Slow signs are out because they're still clearing the exit to the bridge. I was thinking just now, how long until we get a slow zone?
Yes.
And that has now gone full course yellow. Slow flags are out, as you can see on the pixel bomb, just in the camera shot there. Slightly different to, I believe, what most people are used to, which is the Battenbergs. But it's a slight difference in the fact they've now got slow signs, which are a little bit more descriptive. Yeah, basically it's slightly bit easier to see as you're going around. It's a nice addition, to be fair. I prefer the slow signs in many ways.
Makes it much more clear for these young drivers out
yes.
there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And while we have a second to take a closer look at those drivers, you can see that cart number 61 out in front. That is Maximilian Abarat, who has once again managed to make those positions up on his race start. He started 5th this race, just like the last one, came straight through. He is now in the lead.
We do have a couple more shout-outs to give. So Aaron Mackey, please give a shout-out to senior Rotax driver Stephen Napier, who's on his honeymoon today in Spain with his partner Luca. Congratulations for the honeymoon. And then you've got... That was actually the only one we've had since then. But yes.
I mean, we hope you are going to be watching the finals with us live from SlipStream on your honeymoon.
Absolutely, yep, they will be. Absolutely. So we're just watching the ball come round the final corner. But yes, they will be watching the SlipStream broadcast powered by Alpha Live on a honeymoon, which is not something I've ever said in a sentence and didn't expect to today, to be fair.
Hopefully we will see plenty more of that in the next few years for Alpha
So
Live.
they're still clearing up on the exit of the bridge. This may be a slightly longer than expected slow zone. Hopefully everyone's okay. It looks like they may be.
Do we know
should be
who
good.
we lost, I wonder, in the midst
So,
of that race?
well, they're going to cross the line now, so
We'll see.
just waiting to see who does not come across the line. We've got a couple down the bottom already. I'm just waiting for the last carts to come across. So that's everyone across. Okay, so we haven't got Teddy Roberts and we haven't got Rupert Thomas. They are not on our timing screen at the moment. Unfortunately, I can't really see the carts up there, their numbers, so I can't tell you exactly which one is currently at the side of the circuit. But as we come round to the end of the bridge, you'll probably...
There you go, single file, they go towards hairpin 1. Keeping those tyres warm, your leader, Maximilian Abarat. Mega start from him once again. He is going to have another race start to see if he can hold on to that lead. Your pole sitter, Logan Rolfe, will be absolutely ready to get back underway with this racing, sat behind that car number 61. Jackson Hilton and Evan Miller, who did join Logan Rolfe on the top, on the front row of the grid, down in 4th. Not quite the unlucky start that he had in the first heat today, however, he still will be looking to make up those positions. A driver who I'm sure you're familiar with, Stuart, from Super 1, who has done very well in Super 1.
Yep, absolutely. So the two drivers up at the exit of the bridge have both walked away from that, so they seem to be okay in that front at least. They're speaking to the marshals. That's all good, so hopefully all is okay there, but they have walked away at their own steam. So that's good to see as we come probably toward, well, we'll see, to be fair. We're coming towards the end of this slow zone potentially, but we've got to wait and see. Just keeping an eye as they all come around here. So they're all going to possibly, yeah, there we go, telling them to slow down. The longer, of course, the longer they wait, the more time ticks down, the more likely they are to get less laps, which helps people at the front generally, because less on that front. Green flag up at the exit of the bridge. Not sure if that is intentional or not, so we will see when they come round.
If we take a slight look further down the grid while we have this slow start, cart number 65, George Simmons, he didn't retire. However, he must have been one of those drivers who have not a great start, who dropped down 22 positions. He is still circulating, so it will be a recovery drive for now from him. However, there is 2 minutes and 20 seconds plus a lap to go. I'm not too sure. Are we getting underway with racing this time? No,
so.
the slow flags are still out.
No, we're just waiting for the go-ahead for them to race again, but completely depends on what's going on up the bridge course. And we will... There's the green flag waved at the start line. 2 minutes to go. We are back and racing. Everyone now, of course, bunched up into the pack again, which could make this very interesting racing as we come around to the end of this Heat 2 in Minimax. Heading onto the bridge. That's really close. And everyone manages to make it onto the bridge perfectly fine. There's the two karts off to the left.
But there is a new race leader.
Oh,
That
yes.
is Evan Miller, your front row starter, who dropped back ever so slightly. What a phenomenal restart to this race for Evan Miller. That car number 17 out in front into hairpin 2, straight past those 3 on the initial start. What a start from him. That is car number 61, Maximilian Abarat, right behind, followed by, I believe, Logan Ralph and Jackson Hilton. What a start from Evan Miller as he will lead through the final sector towards the final corner. Now on the main straight once again. Evan Miller has 1 minute and 5 seconds plus a lap to possibly pull a bit of a gap for himself or defend that lead spot. He will be needing this after not a great Heat 1, not where he should be in this position. Through turn 1 he goes. Maximilian Abarat, who was your fastest car on track, right behind him. But no, Evan Miller, the gap is 0.05 of a second as they head up into that, and that is Maximilian, I believe, who took that lead spot from Evan Miller down into second now. But look at all these front drivers, the front pack of this Minimax grid, all bunched up. Maximilian Abarat leaves. Evan Miller, and who is that behind? That is car number 611, Otis Cleary in that 3rd position. But this is bunching them all together. This is about an 8-car battle at this point in the last 15 seconds plus a lap of this race, as they are all approaching the last few sectors of this lap. Is this going to be the last lap? I think it possibly is. There'll be 1 lap after this, which will be the last. We do have a few stragglers, but all managed to make it through the restart, which is a good thing, and good to know the driver that did not finish is all okay. Right, there you go. Last lap, and Maximilian Abarat leads. Otis Cleary, Evan Miller now back down into 3rd position.
What a move by the number 12 there, I believe that was. On the 117 of Buddy Hugo. Alfie Phillipson overtaking their leaders, coming down towards hairpin 1. This is going to be a very interesting final lap because there's 2 making moves there. That is currently a move down the inside from the 45 of Jackson Hilton. And that's not quite done. That's Jackson Hilton having the battles properly back there. And everyone's still in this big group. The number 17, the 45, the 135. That's Jackson Hilton, Logan Ralph and Evan Miller all battling it out.
And not only that, but another driver is going to get through for Evan Miller on that, coming out of that second hairpin. Anyway, through the final sector they go. It is Maximilian Abarat who manages to lead the race again. After starting 5th, dropping back, battling back his way to the front, and he is now... Car number 61 is now about to win the race, I believe. There you go. Cross the line he goes, and that is Maximilian Abarat, your race leader once again. Otis Cleary managed to be the driver to come away with 2nd. Jackson Hilton, Logan Rolfe, your pole sitter. Unfortunate race for him. Didn't quite go how the first heat did. Caught that car number 135, but still inside that top 4 nonetheless. Evan Miller, I mean, what a race. He didn't have a great race start that first race. Manages to make it up to the race lead and then lost it pretty quickly. But what a restart it was for him. Eddie Duncan in 6th, Sebastian Behrman in 7th, and your fastest driver on track in the end, who was Dhyan Singh Pahal. Harris Barber and Hugo Buddy round out the top 10 for your Minimax grid. What a race from them. Here we go then, all of our minis heading back into the pits after what was their Heat 2. Now make sure, like Stuart said earlier, make sure you are signing up to SlipStream if you want to watch the Minimax Heat 2, the Minimax final with us later this evening. There they are going in. Some having a chat on their way back in, you can see the kart number 329 with the Norris looking helmet. And the track is now just getting cleared of a couple of karts that were unfortunately stranded. We did have a couple of DNFs in the end for our Minimax, so those karts are just getting collected right now by their mechanics. The poor walks of shame, some may say. But they are off now, just to that, just over the bridge. They are heading over to collect their karts where the two drivers stand together. That did end up DNFing. Well, let's get ready for the next race. Well then, Junior X30 Heat 2, here we go. We are about to go underway with our Junior X30 Heat 2. Those karts are just being rolled off the track right now, so we won't be a minute. I mean, what a race that we saw from their first heat of the day. Pretty much the familiar faces that we saw at the sharp end of the grid, who we are going to be seeing, I'm sure, battle out all over again for this Heat 2. Ahead of the final this evening. You've got your George Edgar, who was, I'll remind you, he was second here over at the Winter Warmer. He then is coming off the back of a win at Wilton Mill Kart Club for another event with us. But then you also have the likes of Rocco Shenton, who came through the entire pack last weekend at Wilton. However, last time he was here, he had a penalty that set him to the back, so he had no results from there. If we look slightly further down the grid, another driver we've got who is new to Junior X30 this year, George House, the XL Motorsport driver, who came P16 in the end with no qualifying last weekend at Wilton Mill. He hacked from the back with Rocco Shenton. He is here. Where did George House qualify? Let's have a look. George House qualified 12th, so he's got some work to do if he's going to do well in this second heat. But there's nothing we haven't seen from him before in the Mini. Let's take a look at the grid. Your pole sitter, Rocco Shenton, joined by, once again, George Edgar. Those two are together on the front row of the grid. Alfie Brown and Kai Clark on the second row. Katie Donaldson, once again, and Millen Tomlinson. Freddie Wood and Jacob Marples round out your top 8. Jake Flewitt and Night Measures. Jacob Batchelor, George House, George Quinlan, Finley Hines for the Croc promotion team, and Hayden Fisher and Harry Miles are the top 16. Orion Meta for premium karting, James Nolan, Callum Graham, Sam Mott, Charlie Bishop, Max Teese, and Katie Clark. We've got 2 Ks on the grid, and Aaron Richardson for Fusion Motorsport. Now, coming out at the back of the grid will be Charles Kitely. We don't have any Junior X30s joining us on the grid just yet, but it will be no time as those karts from the last race, those Minimaxes, are now off the circuit, walking back with their mechanics. And it is green on circuit. So we are going to see our drivers head out shortly. We've got, like I said, we've got 2 Katies on this grid today. Katie Donaldson finished, I believe, her first heat in 4th. So it was a mega job from her. She came 3rd in the Icebreaker, 14-year-old for the Jade Racing team. Our other Katie is 12 and managed to work her way up in the final here at the Winter Warmer. So both girls who are familiar with this track, they're able to do this race. But here we go. Our Junior X30 drivers out on circuit. Your pole sitter, Rocco Shenton, leads into towards hairpin 1. Each and every driver warming their tyres, ready to go. Once again, 8 minutes plus a lap ahead of their final this evening. There we go, and we will see the final car. Charles Kitely just exit that hairpin 2 ahead at the back of the grid. That rounds out all 25 drivers on that Junior X30 grid today. And here we go, it's going to be a slow start, as always, for our Junior X30s, as they are Now nearing the final few corners. Tyres are warming. What a grid for our Junior X30s it is. Here we go, and into formation they will go. Is it going to be a race start? Here we go, and it is going to be a race start. It is going to be Heat 2. Here we go. Heat 2 for our Junior X30 drivers. Through turn 1 they go, and up towards the bank. That is Rocco Shenton that still leads. George Egger there in third, and Rocco Shenton's teammate there in second. Down they go along the long straight, heading towards hairpin 1. It is once again Rocco Shenton and George Edgar out at the front. George Edgar goes around the outside of Rocco Shenton at the hairpin 1. Does he make it stick? He is now on the inside for hairpin 2, and it looks like he's going to make it stick. George Edgar now to the lead of the race, but there is nearly 4 cars wide now for that second place. But that car number 57, I believe, just steals that second place as they were all battling. Through the final sector they go.
Exactly, coming round into the final complex of corners, leaders all right on each other. Battles all out through the pack, to be fair, absolutely everywhere. As the leaders come round to the start line, but as we're looking here at the number 157, which is the Carter Finley Hines, currently ahead of, everyone's just moved around, George House is currently ahead of him, who's head of Night Measures. Leaders up over the bridge soon. Leader looks like to have pulled a small gap over second place, and he absolutely has. Coming down towards hairpin 1, as they're all starting to sort of follow rank and file now. It's all just right on each other. The biggest group, to be fair, is currently on your screens, as there is some minor contact. Everyone gets out of that perfectly cleanly and down into the second hairpin. It's starting to properly hot up in that battle.
That was car number 19, I think, down the inside there at hairpin 2. But there's your leader. George Edgar has about 4/10 gap to Kai Clark, Rocco Shenton, Alfie Brown. He looks slightly further down that pack. Driver who has come up 8 places in the initial start of this race was Aaron Richardson, now running in 16th, just behind Orion Meta. But there you go, George Edgar, Rocco Shenton now right behind, only 1/10 as they come round the banking. These two are forever battling with each other as they head down towards the hairpin 1. Are they going to battle at this point, as they can see those top 6 drivers are going to close in pretty quick if this turns into a battle? But no, George Edgar leads. He runs slightly wide exiting the hairpin, but he still leads into hairpin 2. Rocco Shenton right behind. Now Kai Clark and Alfie Brown even closer than they were before to your leading drivers. There you go, through the S they go, and down through the final sector. No changes in those top 4 just yet, but further down the pack, Freddie Wood has made his way up into 6th, just behind Katie Donaldson, who is still running in 5th. She's got 5 minutes. Her and Freddie have 5 minutes to try and make their way in front to this leading pack. That was car number 11 we saw, George House making the move on Milen Thompson, who has unfortunately not had a great start to this race. But there you go, your race leader, George Edgar. Rocco Shenton giving George Edgar no space just yet. Alfie Brown and Kai Clark. Towards hairpin 1 they go. Long straight, George Edgar tucking that head of his in, and he will lead. Through hairpin 1 they go, but there is a switch for 3rd place. That will be car number 167, Kai Clark, now 3rd. Straight down the inside of Alfie Brown, that was, into hairpin 1. Now they go, both packs of them, 1st and 2nd and 3rd and 4th, right there up with each other. Those drivers in 3rd and 4th, though, won't want to battle too much, because we know that these drivers, George Edgar and Rocco Shenton, are going to get away. There they are on your screen right now, exiting the final few corners and along the main straight. Once again, 4 minutes to go, plus a lap of this race. I believe further back, that is Freddie Wood, I think, who we can see on that shot. Yes, just behind Katie Donaldson still, who is just sitting in that 5th position. There you go, roundabout, your leaders go. And down the hill towards straight, Rocco Shenton looking closer than ever to George Edgar. He is not going to make a move just yet. No change for the lead. George Edgar leads up into hairpin 2, but still Kai Clark and Alfie Brown are getting very close. Is Rocco Shenton maybe going to make the move to pull away? Not just yet. Through the S they go. But your fastest driver on track is Aaron Richardson, a driver who we saw coming up through the pack in the initial start of this race. He's got 3 minutes and 14 seconds to charge down those drivers of Jacob Batchelor in 9th and Jake Flewitt in 8th.
Absolutely. Taking a look at weather radars, we may start to have rain in the next half an hour-ish, maybe 12:45 by that point. Leaders still keeping relatively close, not making any silly moves, which is good to see as they all come down towards the hairpin again. It does very much look like the leaders just trying to stay with each other. Bit of a lock-up by He's properly pushing that kart to the absolute limit just to stay on the back of him, whilst also not letting the 3rd and 4th karts get there. But I don't really think it's worked. They're starting to slowly close that gap.
Saying that, Stuart, those karts behind Katie Donaldson and Freddie Wood, that car number 177 and 38, they are not looking too behind this front pack. The second they start battling, those two are going to get absolutely reeled in. Freddie Wood done a good job to make his way up into 6th, and Katie Donaldson still exactly where she started in 5th. These two work together. This could be a 6-kart battle now, for the podium anyway, as you see those two right at the back. But through turn 1 and up towards the banking goes your leader. George Egger still leads Rocco Shenton, but now your man in 3rd position, Kai Clark, the fastest driver on track right now, is right. They are getting very close, these two. Oh, late on the brakes goes 3rd and 4th, but no, there is no change for these 4 just yet. Although, are we going to see a change in that very soon? One by one, they go. The 4-pack train of your leader to 4th. Then you see Katie Donaldson and Freddie Wood right behind that. Your leaders through the last sector.
Exactly, coming round towards the final corners now. Everyone in the top 4 just holding a line currently. Not much they can do, but really stick together at this point because they want to try and push it as far as they can before the end of the race. 1 minute and 5-ish on the clock as they cross the line. As we're watching them go for the move, there's the move. That looks like Leon Shenton potentially making the move for the leaders. There is that. They have now started battling. This is a square of karts at that point over the bridge. They're all in 2 by 2.
Here we go, a complete switch for the race lead. George Egger now down into 4th. That is, I believe, Rocco Shenton once again. That leads in that number 6 kart. Oof, but it is a love tap behind, and George Egger trying to go around the outside for that 3rd place. Not just yet though. It is George Egger, Rocco Shenton, Kai Clark and Alfie Brown. Kai Clark still your fastest driver on track right now. Those two behind, Katie Donaldson and Freddie Wood, not quite, I don't think, going to make it to this front pack. We've got 18 seconds to go, so it looks like we're going to have 2 more laps of this race. 2 laps of non-stop battling. George Egger is now into 4th. He has got to try and make his way back up into the race lead, and he's got about 2 laps to do so. And we've got some defensive lines there, and no change just yet. This has given Rocco Shenton a considerable lead. Rocco Shenton now leads by 6/10 as they go round the bank on the penultimate lap of this race. Alfie Brown now in 2nd, Kai Clark and George Egger down there in 4th. Is George Egger going to go for a move? And he does. He looks down the inside at hairpin 1, and he does. He gets the move done on Kai Clark. Is he going to go for car number 1567? Just yet, no. Apologies, that was car number 94, Alfie Brown.
Rocco Leon Shenton right up the road there, just trying to keep that gap as big as possible because it's coming down to the last lap into the final set of corners. 0 seconds on the clock. There's a move down the inside. What a move by George Edgar to get his position back and try and make it back towards the lead, but I'm not too sure if that will work now. He's quite a distance away. He's 1.5 seconds off the lead, and gaining 1.5 seconds in a lap would, I'm sure, be quite a task.
I mean, absolutely, Stuart. The 1.5 seconds Rocco Shenton pulled. He pulled about 1 second in that lap alone. I mean, that is is that George Edgar dropping
I think
back
it is
considerably? Oh, that is Alfie Brown and Kai Clark straight down. George Edgar, does he have a problem?
He was shaking his head, I think, coming down the back straight. I think he might have a problem, but there may have only been a problem there, but remains to be seen. Not sure what happened there.
He is possibly even going to be caught up by the car, by Freddie Wood, Katie Donaldson and Aaron Richardson. we will have to see as he approaches the final sector of this race. But there is your ever so deserving leader come out of the final corner, Rocco Shenton, your pole sitter who did drop back, but caught that lead, of course, once again. Rocco Shenton, your Junior X30 Heat 2 winner. Followed by Kai Clark, Alfie Brown, and what was the devastating battle for the win for George Edgar now ended him in 4th place. Katie Donaldson did a good job. She ended where she started in 5th, battling with Freddie Wood. However, Aaron Richardson finished just in front, pipping Freddie Wood to that 6th place. Jacob Marples, George House, and Jake Flewitt round out that top 10. Let's look slightly further down the grid. Milan Tomlinson didn't have an unfortunate race. That car number 16, coming down about 10 positions, did start well inside that top 10. That was unfortunate ahead of the final for them today. And then our one non-finisher, unfortunately, was Harry Myers, the XL Motorsport car. But there you go, that is car number 69 making their way in. And that will round out the heats for Junior X30. There we go, it looks like that is all karts back off the track. It is green all round, so are we going to run straight into the next race? Alright, and straight out onto the grid, there you go. That is our Junior Rotax. This is the 3rd heat of the day, the final heat of the day. This will be, for some drivers, their second, yes, this will be everyone's second heat for the day. And we have got some very familiar faces once again on the grid. We have our 2 pole sitters going head to head. Okay, let's have a look at our pole position. Is Blake Southern. Joining him on the front row is Charlie Wolfert. Luca Holmes Blank and Ewan House are the top 4. Ryan Rapini and Joe Neal, Harvey Sargson and Adam Joaditis round out your top 8 for this race. Starting then on the 5th row is Braith Murdoch and John Richardson. On the 6th row, Ryan White and Alex Lynn. And rounding out your top 14 will be Stanley Stafford and Theo Bradshaw. George Fountain and Joseph Beckery for the Coles Racing team are next, followed by Kevin Ivanov and Thomas Jackson. Cash Harris and Lily Shaw are on that 10th row of the grid, followed by Ollie Thompson and Ralph Fraticus for Thule Motorsport. Alexander Levowski and Max Saul are next. Samir Paul, Oscar Dolinatek, Ian Campbell, Odie Hole, Joshua Robinson and Jacob Gaunt will round out this grid for your final heat of the day for the Junior Rotax. The final deciding heat of the day. Let's get underway, and that is perfect timing, and your heat is underway for the Junior Rotax. Last heat of the day. Okay, through turn 1 they go, and your pole sitter Blake Southern makes it through out in front. Charlie Walker, I believe, still in that 2nd place as they head round the bank and head towards hairpin 1. For the first time. It was a good start for your pole sitter. Yes, it was into hairpin 1 as they bunch up once again towards hairpin 2. And that is car number 228. So that will be my bad. That will be the strawberry cart of Luca Holmes in now 2nd, followed by that number 6 cart, Charlie Wolfett, now into 3rd as they head. But we have a few carts off the track. Ooh, that is 3 carts off the track now for the first lap of the race. Are they all going to get themselves going? That is cart number 224. Not too sure who that is just yet. But Here we have car number 225 getting himself moving again. Here we go. Blake Southern leads. Luca Holmes now up into second, and Charlie Wolford. Ewan House. Joe Neal is your top 5 so far for this race. Those drivers, those karts still out on the track, so it's going to be a yellow flag as those karts are still right there. But Blake Southern leads. Here we go then. You can see that driver just off in the distance exiting the circuit. It will be a DNF for them. But through hairpin 2. That car number 100 leads. Luca Holmes, Charlie Wolfett, Ewan House, Joe Neal, and Adam Joaditis is in the top 6. If we take a little look, Ryan Rapini dropped ever so slightly on that start, down into 9th, which that benefited Adam Joaditis, Braith Murdoch, and John Richardson, who are once again up inside that top 10. And so far, all could be contending for the lead. Do we have a move for the race lead? Yes, we do. That is Charlie Wolfett. Fastest man on track right now, the season number 6 car up into the race lead. He wasn't your pole sitter, I think he was your pole sitter earlier on today, but he was on that front row with Blake Southern. Just pipped him for the race lead. Towards turn 1 they go. You see Blake Southern signalling to work together as they are bringing all these other cars behind them into contention. So they will go. Your top 4 are getting closer and closer together, and that is going to be a move for them second place. And he gets pit by 3rd as well. That is the karts number 228 and 226. Luca Holmes and Ewan House all taking that second place off Blake Southern. Oh, Blake Southern has come from 1st place to 4th in the space of this race.
Absolutely, all battling side by side, still into the final sector. Just making sure there's no undue contact, which is always good to see. Round the final corner, leaders across the line. There's a move going on for second place. Second place has just made it through, I believe, just to the bottom of the camera shot there. And heading up onto the bridge, most likely. That does look like there's been a change there. That does look like the 226 may have made it through, but we'll see when they come off the bridge. As they come down towards the bottom of the... That does look like a 6 on that kart, but we'll find out.
Okay, your leader, Charlie Wolfett, now pulled a 6/10 gap for himself with these karts. Okay, but there's going to be a change for 3rd, as that is kart number 100. Once again, Blake Southern, who was your race leader, not anymore, making his way back up into 3rd. He's got 4 minutes and 20 seconds plus a lap to recover this race for himself. It's looking pretty doable right now, as all those top drivers are still pretty bunched up. Your fastest driver on track right now is Braith Murdoch, car number 214, sorry. He has just set the fastest lap of the race. He is currently up 3 positions, just behind that car of Joe Neal and Blake Southern. Charlie Wolfett still leads, extending his gap now to your new man in 2nd place, Ewan House, Luke Holmes, Blake Southern. Here we go then, down towards hairpin 1 they go. Down towards hairpin 1 they go. Gap is still there for your 2nd place, but are we going to have a slight change further down the order? No, it looks like that car number 722 of Joe Neal had a look, but not just yet. Through the S, your leader goes. Charlie Wolfett looking good so far. Here we go. Through the final sector they go, and off towards turn 1. If we have it, let's take another look slightly further down the grid. Some drivers who obviously didn't have a good start. We did have 3 drivers that were off the track but managed to make their way back on. That was Alex Lynn, Lily Shaw, and Odie Hole, who I think didn't have brilliant starts, but we've got 2 minutes and 55 seconds left. Your race leader extends his gap once again, 1.2 seconds to Ewan House, Blake Southern, and Braith Murdoch. But it looks like it is going to be a 6-car lead, possibly for those podium positions, as 2 cars go defensive into that hairpin, and your man in 2nd place runs very wide. That is 2:14. Braith Murdoch signaling to work with me, but no, that will be car number 100, Blake Southern once again saying absolutely not, I will work not with you, I will lead this pack. But who came out of that out in front? That is, I think, Ewan House who came out in front once again. Correct me if I'm wrong. We will see as they come around the last sector once again and out of turn 1. Okay, Charlie Wolfett once again leads. Extends his gap to now 2.1 seconds from these drivers battling. Grace Murdoch second, Blake Southern third. Ewenhouse and Luca Holmes are your top 5. Your fastest driver now on the track is Leo Bradshaw. Ooh.
That was mighty close at the top of the bridge there. They're still going at it there. Just making their way down towards the first hairpin as everyone's getting very close.
Down the pack, that was kart number 722, Joe Neal, trying to go around the outside of those two karts. Didn't quite work for him. Slot his way back into that 7th place.
Heading down into the final sector now. There was a warning flag out for Blake Southern, number 100, currently in P3, so hopefully that doesn't go any further, so that will be a case of just watching out for them. So you've currently got Charlie Wolf at 2 seconds up the road, just over 2 seconds actually, and he's probably going to have increased that further as he crosses the line momentarily. It is now 2.6 seconds up the road. As there's a move for P2 at this point, they may as well start battling for P2 because I think Wolfit's too far up the road now.
Absolutely, Stuart. It is going to be a battle for these podium positions. However, look at how many cars are coming around that bank right now. It could be a battle for many drivers for those 2 podium spots. But so far, it's Brace Murdoch who has a slight gap for himself, followed by Southern and Luca Holmes. Through hairpin 1 they go. Your leader already through hairpin 2 with a 2.6 second gap, who is looking like he's going to be extending that once again while these drivers battle. A bit further down the pack, again, we've got John Richardson up 4th positions. In battling in 6th, Harvey Sargison, Adam Joaditis, who is where he started in that 8th position. Joe Neal unfortunately down into 9th, and Ryan Rapini joining him down there into 10th, just inside that top 10. And then our 2 non-finishers will be Ryan White and Cash Harris, unfortunately. But the clock is on 0, and we've got this. We're on now the penultimate lap of the race. There is your leader. Over the bridge he will go and down towards hairpin 1. There is your second place, Blake Southern, who was your pole sitter. Doesn't look like he's going to catch that lead just yet, but can he make it stick for the P2? No moves just yet from the drivers in 3rd and 4th, but we are speaking too soon. We're on the penultimate lap of this race. There is 1 lap to go, and we will see what is able to happen. John Richardson in 6th, car number 68. You're currently your fastest driver on track. Yet again, he has been setting lots of purple laps this race, and he is not giving up just yet. Right, through the final sector they go, and there is your leader. Who is he going to extend his lap again, I wonder? Or is he going to have taken his foot off the gas ever so slightly because he knows he has that race lead? Let's see. He's got a 2.6 second gap.
So I think he's only dropped by about half a tenth, so he might just sort of be holding now, trying to keep that position where it is at the moment. I think that's probably going to be his best bet, just try and hold pace rather than try and go any quicker, because then you've got the risk, of course, of putting it off the track on the last lap, and no one wants to do that from first, that's for sure.
Exactly that. It's a clever game from him now. No change for second place just yet. It's looking like Blaze Southern possibly has this as there could be a change for 4th. Note that Cole's car has a look but doesn't quite get it done as they are approaching the final sector now. This is the final lap of the race. It is looking like that car number 6, Charlie Wolfett, is going to be your race leader of the final Junior Rotax heat of today. The checkered flag is ready to come out, and there is your leader in the DHR kart. Charlie Wolfett, the leader of your final Junior Rotax heat of the day. Blake Southern, who joined him on the front row, finishes in that second position. Braith Murdoch and Luca Holmes-Ballack. Ewenhouse with the fastest lap. John Richardson, Ryan Rapini, Adam Joaditis, Theo Bradshaw and Joe Neal round out that top 10 of this race. Samir Paul, car number 213, managed to make his way up a significant amount in that race, up to 16th. He now has the final to see where he can finish for the day. Well, apparently, apologies for that slight bit of silence. Look who has decided to join us for the day. Well, joining me in the commentary box now is Henry Bodette, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for Stuart Rice.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Paul Fletcher International Circuit here in Lincolnshire. We've got a packed day ahead of us. We've got a packed day, 29 races to bring you. It's a cloudy morning. What? So, hang on a sec. Producer Stu is crying again. Oh, yeah. What? Oh, okay, yes. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I do realise that I am not up with the lark. And
Do you?
You know something? First of all, thank you for your concerns. Everything is okay. I'm just... Some days you're the windshield, and some days you're the bug. And today, I feel like I am the remnants of a big, fat bee at Wilton Mill. It's karma just getting me back. So, everything is okay. Thank you very much. Just having one of those days away from the track. But, tell me, actually, I'm like Baldrick. I have a cunning plan, and of course, this two-week training session that you and I are doing together to get Keogh Lynch ready for the Vera Tools British Kart Championship,
And
where
you've
she will be
stranded me
out
for the first part of this day.
reacting to situations that are thrown your way last minute. You know that's part of the job, part of the art.
Well, Henry is
All
keeping me on my
part
toes.
of my plan,
but
yes.
we will move swiftly on to the next race.
Honestly, before we do, thank you. Fantastic job. Second day in the commentary box, ladies and gentlemen. Right. What's up next? Race number 1 on the program. No, it's not, is it? What race?
No, Henry, it's not.
Oh, go on then. Do your job. Do the job. You're the
Next
man.
up, we've got Senior Rotax Heat 3 for your information. All right, Senior Rotax Heat 3, here we go. Oh, already we have some karts off on the grass. That will be, I can't quite see who that is. That is kart number 27, James Tester, the reigning PFI club champion we were just talking about, down in 18th place, who is not where he should be, who is getting back in his kart, and it looks like he is going to be able to circulate once again.
There was another kart. There was a secondary kart that was off the circuit. I think it was the number 28 kart of Kai Newman for Ultimate R Racing. But I couldn't quite. Yes, it is. The Ultimate R kart is now coming around the second hairpin to get back to his grid position.
Well,
What's been going on? What's been going on? Tell me. Explain. What's the class looking like? What's the story
Well,
of
Henry,
Senior
we have
Rotax
had
today?
a wild day of racing. This is the final heat for Senior Rotax, and on pole position is going to be Albie Lapper, joined by Freddie Lloyd, who battled it out in the last heat. I believe Freddie Lloyd was our winner. Joshua Graham and Lloyd Hare are going to join them on the second row of the grid. Charlie King and Matteo Palazzo on the third. Liam Hartley and Joshua Turnbull there on the fourth. Rounding out the top 10 then will be Harry Freeman and Joe Brown as they are coming around the final few corners ever so slowly. Henry, I can't believe you've missed it.
Well, again, I shall watch it back on the SlipStream subscriber app that I will not use my Apple product to sign up for because Apple tax will skin me for another £3. Anyway.
Here we go with the Senior Rotax final heat of the day, and that is your strawberry car, Albie Lapper, on pole, who leads through the bank and into turn 1. There is some slight wheel banging there, but it looks like everyone is going to make it through the first few corners of the race. Okay, here we go. Albie Lapper leads.
I noticed that a couple of karts went over the grass going through the Bruno Ferrari S's on the first lap, and they're down the back of the field. It was a midfield pack that took to the grass, but we are looking good. I can't believe that every single kart starting this race is still running.
Well, Henry, you've obviously been the good luck charm, because that hasn't happened so far today.
All because I squished a bumblebee at Wilton Mill last weekend. Oh.
If anyone has missed that, you should definitely go back and watch that, because you can't see it,
or
but you can
yes,
hear it.
yes. And Karma, the David Attenborough wildlife Karma, is biting me back.
Well, there is your leader through the banking for the first time. Already pulled an 8/10 gap for himself. Charlie King, Freddie Lloyd. Freddie Lloyd down into that third position. Charlie King just picked in there. There are the front front four, heading through down to that hairpin one.
And of course, you are talking about Albie Lapper leading. Albie, it might be his first race or first season in seniors, but he comes into his debut season in Junior Rotax, having put it on the podium in Bahrain at the Rotax Grand Finals in his last ever junior race last December. So he's really picked up this year where he left off last year. Oh, and there was a kart there. The black bodywork of the kart was going for a spin to the Fullerton S's, and now great midfield battle.
Here we go then. Out the final corner goes your leader. Freddie Lloyd, your fastest man on track, has managed to rein him in ever so slightly. Your leader now only leads by 4/10. He has closed that gap by about half of the time. Well, there you go, Freddie Lloyd. You see them coming down the hill now and towards hairpin one. Closing that gap, Joshua Graham, Charlie King, Matteo Palazzo. Are we going to see a move for the lead just yet? Oh, nope. We saw Freddie Lloyd go slightly wide, and now they are side by side into hairpin two. Are we going to see a move? But it looks like it is going to be your leader, Albie Lapper. But now, this is the car number 8, Joshua Graham, now right there into contention. The 5 cars now at the front are bunching up. Down to sector 3 they go.
It's quite interesting to note that Freddie Lloyd, the reigning British Senior X30 champion, has chosen to, I don't know if it's a permanent switch to Rotax or whether he's just doing as much seat time as possible before the main championships of the season start. But it'd be interesting to find out from Freddie Lloyd whether this switch to Rotax is permanent or whether he's going to dovetail 2 campaigns. But a different driving style in Rotax X30. A lot of people say that Rotax driving style is much more aggressive. The X30 driving style and the racecraft is a little bit more, how should we say, grown up. There's a move!
There is a move for the 3rd position, but it looks like he's going to miss out on that already. That was the 397 car of Albie Lapper, who had dropped back. Oh, and now it is about to be a 4-car lead for that 3rd position on the podium. Who is going to come out with it? There we go. Who is that? That was kart number Joshua Graham, kart number 8.
So you're looking at the battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. In fact, Josh Graham has just got to the front of that battle, having picked up 3 places in that scrum that developed coming out of the 2nd hairpin. Freddie Lloyd, new fastest lap. And with just under 4 minutes to go, we've got our first retirement of the race. Drew Preisner out of the race. Technical flag comes out for the number 91 kart, who Preisner, well, 25th and the 16th at PF International this year in the 2 other winter events, the Icebreaker and the Winter Warm-Up Trophy.
Well, yes, Henry, there are your leaders. No move for that race lead just yet, but Freddie Lloyd is, Joshua Graham, that car number 8, is sat right behind Freddie Lloyd, who is currently our fastest car on track. Like you said, Henry, Freddie Lloyd has dominated X30. Is he here to dominate Rotax for good? Is he dabbling his toe in it? Well, he's doing a good job of it anyway. And through turn 1 they go once again. No change for that race lead just yet. No change in 3rd and 4th either, but Charlie King is now the fastest driver on track.
You mentioned Freddie Lloyd being a PFI expert. In the Vera Tools British Kart Championship, he's got 2 wins and 1 second place. So that's 3 podium results in the Vera Tools British Championship, let alone other major events. So yes, he is definitely a PF International expert, as are a lot of drivers, simply because every single year the British Kart Championship, Kart Masters and other sort of major events find their way to Lincolnshire.
Following on that, Henry, another PFI expert who I believe is a club champion here is James Tester, who was on the grass on that outlap, car number 27. He is down in 22nd, though he is trying to make his way back up those positions. He did have a hack straight from the back of this grid from the start of this race, so it will be an unlucky weekend for him. In qualifying, it didn't quite go his way either. He ended up qualifying about 18th, so that is not where we are used to seeing him.
Now, I've just noticed Albie Lapper in third position. I was just about to ponder to myself, could Albie Lapper drag Charlie King up to the two leaders? And I was getting my answer, even though it was only by a tenth or 2/10 of a second, when Albie Lapper put in a 56.87. That is 2/10 faster than the race leaders. And Lapper and Charlie King only need to gain another 3 or 4 kart lengths until they are in to the slipstream.
No pun intended.
See what I did there?
Henry?
See what I did there? Now, Lapper starts lap number 8 with just over a minute to go. Another 56.76 Lapper, and that's without the aid of a toe. Because Lapper that's incredible pace.
Take a look at this, Henry. Can Lapper cling onto the back of that car number 8 in second position? I think he can, as it's going to get pretty close as they head through hairpin 1. Freddie Lloyd still leads, no change in the top 4 just yet, but it looks like it could be a 4-car lead for the lead for the race. We've got 40 seconds to go plus a lap, and look at how close these 4 have gotten now, Henry.
Yeah, Lapper and King will get into the toe. You were right, Kiel, when you said that you thought that Lapper would catch the top 2. Well, it's not the top 2, it's sort of second place, because Freddie Lloyd has pulled a gap of nearly half a second over Joshua Graham, who's got his Team UK race suit on, because a number of occasions Josh Graham has represented Team UK at the Rotax Grand Finals.
Let's take a slight look further down that grid. Another driver who we think didn't start qualifying, Harrison Crowther. We're on the penultimate knock lifts race, and Harrison Crowther is up 23 places into 8th. I mean, we know this is a driver we see at the sharp end of the grid often, and the clock is now on 0. Penultimate lap. Here we go. There we go. There was going to have a change for second. That is Albie Lapper, your fastest man on track in the strawberry cart. Through down the inside at the hairpin 2 and up into second position.
Lapper, the reigning Kart Masters GP plate holder in Junior Rotax, the reigning British Championship runner-up in Junior Rotax, and podium finisher in the Rotax Grand Finals, has acclimatised himself so quickly, so well to Senior Rotax. He hasn't, considering that 2 years ago, Albie Lapper, I have to say this, and I think he's a great lad, I love the family. Albie Lapper 2 years ago was a bit of a weapon, and not in a good way. He got more nose cone penalties than anybody else in the British Championship. Last year, it changed. It clicked. Something with Liam Wright, his mechanic, and Albie clicked, and he was transformed. And this year as well, he looks like he's transformed even more. Second, side by side.
But just speaking of him, could that have been a commentator's curse? Possibly, because that is Joshua Graham, that car number 8, straight down the inside at hairpin 2. Once again, now up into that second position. Albie Lapper now down into third. Freddie Lloyd still leads with that 8/10 gap. This is the final lap as they approach the final sector. There you see your leader. Last few corners. He has had a pretty steady race for Freddie Lloyd, a face that we see often in the front of the Junior X30 grid. We now see, Senior X30, we are now seeing at the front. That is a win for Freddie Lloyd, Joshua Graham and Albie Lapper down into third. But he was your fastest man on track. Charlie King and Lloyd Hare are the top 5.
So, the reigning British champion holds on. Just looking down the order, Harry Freeman in 8th position, Brandon Truman in 9th. What a drive from Harrison Crowther. 1 week on from Harrison winning the Kart Championship Senior Rotax Final up at Warden Law. Harrison Paul, he also passed his driving test. He gains a phenomenal 24 places for Coles Racing, his spiritual home Coles Racing. And I'm so keen and waiting for the moment that Coles Racing re-announces itself as one of the Premier League teams in British karting, because at the start of the new era of the Motorsport UK British Kart Championship in 2019, Coles Racing, especially in Mini Max and Junior Max, they were the team leaders. They were the pick of the bunch. And it's sort of gone a little bit downhill. Well, not downhill, but just, they're lower reaches of the top 10 generally, as opposed to battling for wins, Coles Racing. And Harrison Crowther is changing that perception, because he is absolutely outstanding.
Well, thank you for joining us, Henry, for your first race of the day. Absolutely not ours. And we are on to the next.
So lunch is next. That's incredible. The morning's absolutely flown by, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe that we've reached the end of the heats. It feels like I've just got here. I've got to say, incredible.
Really?
Absolutely incredible. What? Oh, the clock's went forward as well. Yes, that's what it is, because time is flowing much quicker than usual.
Well, it feels like you have been here all day for us, Henry. On your front row, we've got Aaron Brown and Nat Johnston once again, Tristan Powell and Liam Karabelov on the second, Alexander D. Debatitis on and Laith Kahan on the third, Ethan Woodward and Spencer Allen on the fourth, Hayden Elridge and Jack Buckley round out your top 10.
Lewis Goff, in one of his final sojourns in karting, is starting 11th alongside the rocket ship Jack Nettleship. Ty Buckley and Freddie Lloyd on row 7. So Freddie doing double duty. Cameron Edmonds and Lewis Bird round out the top 16. Oliver Meek and Dylan Patel are next up. Reese Newburn and Dorian Malik. Sam Lewis, Jack Dan, James Harris, Mayan Patel. A really healthy grid of senior X30s. So glad to see both senior classes really picking up numbers-wise. The purple, is it still the purple people eater? Zach Nürnberger. I don't think it is, but he starts 25th in kart number 76. And I have to quickly check to see, do we have the purple people eater, or has Zeph Nürnberger is out there in the traditional Jade Birrell ART colours. And there's a look at the rest of the field. Macy Hitter, good to see her back in 32nd. Well, not see her, good to see her back in 32nd. Good to see her back at PFI. She starts 32nd. Morgan Moore, shotgun on the field. Here we go.
Here we go, and it is going to be a slow start once again for our senior X30s as they're exiting the final few corners ahead of the race. It is a strong front row, Aaron Brown and Nat Johnston, who is coming off the back of a phenomenal weekend, who, like I was talking about earlier, Henry, we watched Nat. I don't think he didn't lead a lap of a single race over at Wilton Mill for the Club Championship in round 1, but we will see how it is, and we get underway with the second heat of the Senior X30 Heat 2. It looks like it's over the grass for Nat Johnston, but it looks like it's an okay start for your pole sitter, Aaron Brown. Round the bank they go.
Oh, kart stationary in the middle. Hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable levels of kart control. Sadly, one driver went off to the outside of the banking in sympathy, but I couldn't get a number check. We will get one now when the timing screen updates itself of who had the biggest let off, because stationary sideways coming out from under the bridge, any form of contact would have been potentially catastrophic.
That is right, Henry, but back at the front you have Aaron Brown, your pole sitter, who did have a successful start. On the other hand, Nat Johnston, as we were just talking about him, did go over the grass. He was one of them many drivers to travel over the grass initially on that start.
So was Liam Karabelov. He was another driver that went over the grass at the start, along with Nat Stappen. Well, Nat Stappen didn't have a very good day in Japan earlier, and Nat Stappen, the karting version, isn't having a great day at PF International.
But I think that is a new race leader. That is Tristan Powell, car number 188, now out in front. He leads through hairpin 1. Now your pole sitter, Aaron Brown, with that green lid right behind him. Is he going to take it down the inside? And he does. Straight down the inside for Aaron Brown at hairpin 2. But they're going to come out side by side. signaling to work together, but no, that is going to be Aaron Brown to slot back into that second position. That car number 46 now, Alexander Di Benedettis now right behind.
Now, the number 57 kart running at the back of the field, Jack Dan. No, Jack Dan's the number 62. The 57 is Cameron Edmonds. He appears to be the last driver still running, and he was the driver that went off in avoidance of, and we can actually get the name check now.
Ooh.
It was... Ooh.
While you're looking at that, Henry, we now have new race leader Aaron Brown back up into the race lead. Nat Johnston now in third position. He was the fastest lap setter of the initial start of the race. Now, those three lead into hairpin 2. And that's going to make the move down. Nat was down into fourth. He is now up into second, wheel banging with that driver in second, Aaron Brown. No, sorry, not Aaron Brown, Spencer Allen, I believe, but he doesn't. He slots back in that sector 3, slots back into that third spot. Oh, it is looking like, Henry, we have some rainfall on the circuit. This was not forecast for today.
Well, the camera ops, the Alpha Live camera ops out on circuit have reported that there are droplets of moisture coming out of the grey, overcast, leaden skies. Sam Lewis doesn't seem to care. He's just set the fastest lap of the race, 57.74 seconds. He loves the game so much, he eschews threats of dodgy weather. And there's a battle going on the track. Cole.
Like you said, Henry, that is not stopping this front pack either, as that is, I believe, Spencer Allen now up into third, but it's going to be Nat Stappen straight round the outside towards the S's. Wow, it is about a 7-car battle now for that third position. Spot terrain on the track, these drivers say nope. Senior X30 does not care about that.
And I have to say that between this event and the Winter Warmer Trophy and the two Slipstream powered by Alpha Live events that we've covered from Wilton Mill, that this is pretty much a very good representation of everybody who is going to be doing the main British Championship. And to see the running order and a few drivers such as Alexander Di Benedettis on the right chassis running at the sharp end, that bodes very, 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 very well for this season, as Mayan Patel sets the fastest lap of the race at 57.32.
Well, Henry, if we look a bit further down the grid, that is Morgan Moore in car number 8. It's up 23 positions so far. There's 3 minutes and 20 seconds left of this race. Where can that driver get to? Currently in 12th, just behind Keith Can and Hayden Eldridge, who has unfortunately dropped ever so slightly. Joey Brown then, just inside the top 10, has come up 18th positions, but Aaron Brown leads. Spencer Allen, Johnston Powell and Lewis Goff is your top 5 so far. Leaders are through turn 1.
I was just thinking back to lap number 1, and maybe it was Liam Karabelov who was stranded in the middle of the circuit, broadside, after he had gone over the grass, because he retired on lap number 2, and nobody else in the running order makes sense, because the driver that did spin was started very, very high up, and of course, looking at Karabelov, started P4, which I have to say is a huge surprise, because that, Liam Karabelov in a field of this quality isn't a driver that you would immediately think of running in the top 5, I have to say. Still battles going on. 2 minutes 20 plus change and a lap to go. And of course there is Aaron Brown and Gus Lawrence. He's not here at the moment because he's doing the Stuza Pro Tour in Pro X30 along with Sean Butcher. Caden McQueen is out there as well, so a very strong British representation in the USA. And of course Joe Turney is the headline act for the British drivers in Pro X30.
Absolutely, Henry, but here we go. We are going to have a change for the race lead. Spencer Allen, car number 16, takes the lead off of Aaron Brown, your pole sitter. Through hairpin 2, they go. You've got 1.5 minutes plus a lap left of this race. Does this mean that Nat Johnson and Tristan Powell are going to be able to rein your leaders in? I am not too sure. There you go. Spencer Allen leads. Yes, leads Aaron Brown, Nat Johnston, Powell and Lewis Goff there in 5th. Freddie Lloyd, another Freddie Lloyd we've got, now back in Senior X30, is the fastest lap setter of this race so far.
Well, great news. Spencer Allen, he does so much to raise money for charity. I think it's a hospital in Newport, if memory serves correctly. And he's now showing how much talent he's got because he's moved for the first time to a top tier team in the form of MDL Motorsport. And I can't speak highly enough of the work that team has put in. They are a threat to anyone on any given day. Any circuit, any conditions, MDL Motorsport can take it and beat Fusion, McBarrett Racing, Premium Karting on any given day.
Well, Henry, that was just a car on the grass that we saw. Morgan Moore, who we were talking about, up 25 positions, but takes a trip on the grass just up on the way to hairpin 1. However, managed to rejoin the track, and I don't think that is going to affect their race too much. Here are your leaders, and it is going to be the penultimate lap of the race. Spencer Allen leads Aaron Brown and Nat Johnston, who is currently your fastest driver on track with a 62.8. Round the back they go, and down towards hairpin 1.
So, basically what you're saying, Keel, is that viewers have got 1 lap with which to subscribe and become a premium Alpha Live powered by SlipStream content member, so you can watch the finals live. You don't have to wait 7 days. As long as you go and subscribe on anything other than an Apple product, because they will take extra pounds, which they keep.
Exactly that, Henry. And who would not want to watch this racing with us right here, right now? Because this is your final heat for the Senior X30, and this is about to be the final lap. It looks like your front 4 are bunched up. Look at that. Who wouldn't want to watch this sort of racing with us this evening? There you go. Through towards the back they go. No change for the race lead just yet. Your top 4 remain in the same order. Round the bank they go. Not spoke too soon just yet. Nat Johnson, still your fastest driver on track in that car number 15. Here we go, down towards hairpin 1. Nat Johnston is going to make the move down the inside. Yes, makes the move down the inside of Aaron Brown. Nat Johnston up into 2nd. Is he going to be able to catch Spencer Allen as he goes lay on the brakes into hairpin 2? And towards the S they go. Spencer Allen, your leader, takes a slight look behind him to know, nope, can't take a breath just yet because Nat Johnston is right there. And is there going to be a change just yet for the race leaders? They approach the final sector in the last few corners. I'm not too sure there is, but there you go. So far, it's looking like that will be your winner. Round the last corner, and there you go. Spencer Allen will take the win for the final heat of the day for the Senior X30, followed by Nat Johnson, who had your fastest lap, Tristan Prowell, Aaron Brown, and Freddie Lloyd in the top 5.
Alexander D. Benedictis, 8th position behind Lewis Goff. Joey Brown finishing P6, just behind the British champion, which is very, very interesting indeed, because you'd think that the reigning British champion in now Premium Karting, he moved just the bug, the wasp.
It's been a long
not
day
wasp,
for
the
you,
bumblebee,
Henry.
the revenge of the bumblebee, as the carts head back to pit lane, or to scrutineering, of course. Cameron Edmonds, he survived that opening lap scrimmage to finish 25th, ahead of Liam Karabelov. I think those are the 2 drivers that ended up sideways or on the grass, on the banking on the first lap. But that is a significant moment for Spencer Allen. If Spencer is doing the Vera Tools British Championship this year with MDL, that boy is a contender, Charlie. I could have been a contender, Charlie.
Back with the memes, Henry, already.
Oh dear, no, it's been shocking. It's been absolutely shocking. Thank you for, sharing and liking and watching some of the stuff that we have put out. Is this now, when do we subscribe? When do we become a premium member?
Right here, right now, because all the heats are over.
Right, listen to Keel, she's the boss. Go and become a premium member. Thank you for your support. This morning has flown by. I can't remember a bad race. Can't remember.
I bet you can't, Henry.
No. That's all
I
right.
bet you can't. Well, you are just in time for the final, so if you want to hear more of Henry's voice for this evening, join us over on SlipStream.
It's not my timekeeping. It's not me being lazy. I promise. I promise.
SlipStream, the way to watch all the best club karting live and on demand. It takes just 1 minute to become a channel member and get your virtual SlipStream pass. Hit the join button on our YouTube channel and follow the prompts. Using an iPhone? Do this via Safari to avoid paying an extra fee. Channel members get early access to the Bump Draft podcast, as well as 7 days exclusive access to the event finals. Plus, they also get priority chats read live by our commentators, so you can show your support for your favourite drivers. It's a rolling 30-day membership and you can cancel at any time. Join SlipStream today to enjoy live club karting and help promote the grassroots of our sport. Have you ever watched a kart race and felt the excitement, the speed, the competition, the energy, and thought, I'd love to be part of that? Well, here's your chance. Our kart race meetings are powered not just by drivers and teams, but by an incredible group of volunteers who make every race day possible. Without them, the racing simply wouldn't happen. Whether you're a motorsport fan, a parent of a driver, someone looking for experience, or you just enjoy being part of a team, we'd love to have you join us. What can volunteers do? There's a role for everyone. Track marshals, right at the heart of the action, ensuring safety on circuit. Grid and pit lane assistance, helping line up karts and keep the race meetings running smoothly. Scrutineering support, assisting with safety checks. Race control and administration, supporting timing, paperwork and organisation. Event setup and pack down crew, the team that makes it all happen behind the scenes. No prior experience? No problem. We provide training, support and mentoring. All you need is enthusiasm and reliability. Why volunteer? Be part of the thrilling world of kart racing. Learn new skills and gain valuable experience. Meet like-minded people and make great friends. Get close to the action in a safe and structured environment. Support grassroots motorsport and young drivers chasing their dreams. Many top racing drivers started their journey in karting. Our volunteers are part of that story. What's the commitment? You can volunteer for a single event or become a regular member of our team. We run regular race meetings throughout the year and every event needs dedicated people like you. Even a few days a year makes a huge difference. If you'd like to get involved with Trent Valley Kart Club, please speak to us today in the Race Control office or contact us at claire@tvkc.co.uk. Come and be part of the team that makes race day possible. Because when the lights go out and the race begins, it's not just the drivers who make it happen, it's all of us. Thank you, and we hope to welcome you trackside soon.